See if anybody hops on. So don't let it.
That stuff is strong.
Don't let it. You took a drink?
No, I just took a sniff. I think.
Don't let this. What do you call it? It's kind of like it's a little delay. So
let me take a real drink.
Dale, you got it. I'm gonna put this thing right on there.
Here we go. Roll call.
Wacky Wednesday. It's Wacky Wednesday con El Bumper. Unfiltered. The real deal. No pre-planning. No chingaderas. Straight up from the bill. Wacky Wednesday. B-Town's very own. It's Wacky Wednesday con
Lo que necesitas es un Bluetooth speaker so you can turn it up.
Hey, it worked. See, behind the scenes, bro. You saw it. You saw the intro. So here we are, episode 8, Wacky Wednesday. Man, we getting there. We're getting people on there. People already saw your Whataburger cup, fool.
Better believe it.
Yeah, they saw your. Be careful. Make sure he doesn't move that one right there on you. So right now we're live on Instagram. And we're live on Facebook. We're live on Joe. You're on your Instagram?
Yeah, on my Instagram, the Joe Barber. What's up?
Cool. So again, episode 8, man. Wacky Wednesday. We're here. We started a little bit late because my guest, he works for a living. Not them other guests don't work for a living, but he's got not a normal job. You know, being a barber is not a easy thing, huh?
I wouldn't say it's easy, but
you want to say it's easy?
I wouldn't say it is.
Oh, I was gonna say, dude, working past 5 o'clock? Hell no, that's just not easy. But today I have none other than a good friend of mine. I've known him for shoot, how long, Joe? 4 years? 5 years?
5 years.
5 years. I've known him for 5 years now, and he, for me, not only for me, but I think he's a legend. In the barber community, not only here in South Texas, but if you are a barber anywhere in the United States, have you been to any barber battles? If you watch anything on barbers, I promise you've seen his name somewhere flash across the screen, or you've seen any of his work. If you watch ESPN, you've seen Joe The Barber. If you're a Spurs fan and watch Spurs game, I promise you've seen his work. So without further ado, man, my special guest today is I'm gonna try to announce your name right, dude.
Pronounce. Yeah, go ahead.
I think
Try it.
I think I can do it. I think I can. Joe Barajas, right?
There you go. You got
Joe
that right.
Barajas. Yeah. For all my English-speaking people, Joe Cards.
Or Joe
right?
Barber.
Joe Barber. That's his name. Hey,
yeah.
Joe, let me turn around and show my shirt off real quick, dog.
Yeah, that's the new drip.
Let me know if you want one. We can take care of you. But yeah, Joe. Welcome, dude, to Wacky Wednesday. Like I told you, there's no script. All we do is kind of shoot from the hip here. We talk about anything and everything. I started this now 8 weeks ago. Mm-hmm. Now,
I've had the pleasure of enjoying your show a few times. I'm in bed looking, and I'm just like, wow,
this guy's still up.
Yeah, but yeah, it's entertaining.
We got a third guest today. What are you doing, dude? Hey, as you can tell, he hasn't seen a steel Joe The Barber since quarantine started.
Oh, yeah.
He does need an appointment.
Me and Daddy got the wax and it just came out of the mail today.
It did? Go get it so we can show it to him. Go find it and I'll put it on the camera for you, okay?
Okay.
Go get one. Careful. Joe is he's a pillar in the community. I've got to see it firsthand. I've seen it. I've seen it. Go give me yours. Go give me yours too. I've seen it with my own hands. With my own eyes.
I was about to say.
Yeah. With my own eyes, you got all my children involved in helping in the community, which I owe you a whole lot of gratitude for, because it gives a whole meaning to service. You want to talk a little bit on that? Like, or nah, before we even get to that, you born and raised here in San Antonio?
From the west side, 78207. Yeah, so I was born in the Alazan Courts. That's where I was raised.
You were raised in the Alazan Courts? Mm-hmm. So what does that mean? Like, when you say Alazan Courts, like, for me, I'm thinking tennis, ping pong.
No. The Alazan Courts is the projects in the 78207. It's one of the most impoverished areas in San Antonio. Actually, in the nation at one point, they were high up there. People that live in that area don't have an education. A lot of people don't have diplomas. A lot of people just don't make it. You know, that's just what it is. Yeah. And when I was growing up, there was a huge percentage of people getting killed. I think we were like top 5 in the nation for drive-bys. I think we averaged like 3 drive-bys a day, something like that.
So you grew up there when like maybe like it was in the 90s, right? When it was like gang violence was really like through the roof.
Really bad, yeah.
Yeah.
I lost a lot of friends, a lot of family members, all types of stuff. I mean, that's where we grew up. That was the norm, you know. It was crazy because there was a lot of other projects around us. So in my mind, I thought everybody lived in the projects. So the only people that didn't live in the projects, I thought were like teachers and, you know, police officers and like everybody else.
Because you were confined to that little world.
Yeah, that was my world. That was my little, you know.
I can see that, man. I can see that.
So yeah.
Like they already getting you, fool. That motherfucker got some pretty hair. Well, shit, he better, boy. He's a damn barber. That's a good one, Barber.
I was planning on getting my haircut today, but man, I was just busy all day. I was swamped, so I just didn't have time. And then my barber was busy, so yeah.
I hear you. So, Joe, like you said, growing up here in San Antonio, man, can you kind of explain like a little bit of your family structure? Did you grow up with a father figure? Did you grow up, you know, with your grandma? You know, how'd you grow up?
I grew up with my mom. My dad wasn't around. My dad went to prison early on in my life. I really didn't know him. So I didn't have a father figure. And then my mom got married a few times after that. I have other siblings that have different dads. So I was introduced to different role models, but not anything to where I like held on to. But I was looking for direction. I just didn't have that male figure in my life. So I never really like held it against my dad, but I wonder why he never stuck around. But I never knew why. I never really got an answer from him. And he passed away not too long ago. But I did have like a relationship with him, but it was just not like a father and son relationship. It was just like I knew he was my dad, and I wanted to have something there.
And you respected him for that?
Yeah, I respected him, you know, of course, because he's my father. Like, he might not have known how to be a dad, but by him not being there, it taught me what not to do. So I think by him staying away from me, it you know, because he was involved in other stuff, you know. He was involved in drugs, gangs, all that kind of stuff when he was coming up. So I think he didn't want me to be exposed to that. So by him not being around, it hurt me, but it also taught me how to be a better father. And I knew what he was doing to me. I was like, man, I don't want to be like that. So I'm going to be the best dad that I can be, you know, to my kids when I have kids. And then, you know, to any kid that doesn't have a father, I know what that feels like. So I have that empathy towards them. And with that, that's why I am the way I am with the kids. You know, when I cut their hair, I get in their ear and, you know, Uncle Joe. I'm Uncle Joe to a lot of kids. And a lot of kids that I cut, a lot of kids that I cut, they don't have a dad that's around, or, you know what I'm saying, a male figure that really pushes them to be something more than just, you know, existing and being caught up in the moments of what day-to-day life. Like, nah, man, you could do so much with your life.
We kind of, I don't know if I've ever, I know I got conversations, but I don't know if I've ever had it on Wacky Wednesday, but I think sometimes, like, and with everything going on in the world, we kind of like, I when you say you come from the Alazan Courts and you say, you know, there's a lot of people that didn't make it. For some people who've never grown up in this kind of culture, I want to just kind of throw on top of that. Didn't make it doesn't mean dead.
No.
All right. Didn't make it means that the person just falls into the same routine, the same life. You know what I mean? It's government assisted housing. You know, usually on some kind of food stamps. You know what I mean? It becomes life. You know what I mean? They have kids, and then their kids, that's what they know. That's what they're comfortable with. Yeah. And it becomes what's the word I'm looking for? I
mean, it's just, I would say that
repetitive. Like
it's a cycle that we get caught
a cycle.
Up
there you go. That's the word I was looking for. It just becomes part of the cycle. And sometimes it takes one person. It really just takes like one person to break that cycle. And with them breaking that cycle, you know what I mean? you go off and to do bigger and better things. You know what I mean? I kind of like try to preach that to my kids all the time. As y'all saw earlier in the week, I put that we're going to talk a little bit about fatherhood. But like I told Joe, I really want you guys to get to know who he is, what he's done, some of his awards that he's got. They're not by far. The dude just showed up to a local neighborhood barbershop and won a barber battle. Like, this guy has been on national TV winning. Shit, you won money, fool.
Yeah, I won 15.
But the government get a big cut of that.
50. I won $5. Nah, I won 15 G's on a TV show with Cedric the Entertainer. That was the first actual winner of the. There was more than one episode, but I was the first one. I was the first one. Actually, the story with that is we shot the last episode, and I wasn't even like put on the show to begin with because they said I was too nice. The talent was there, but they just said they couldn't see me interacting with people. They
wanted you to be cholo style.
They wanted me to be like cocky, arrogant, and I couldn't. I'm not gonna do that, but I know how to hold my own, in order to make stuff happen. So, but because our show did so well, they moved everybody's back and put ours first. So that's how well we did.
That's freaking badass. So think about that, dude. Like, I met this guy through a mutual friend. I won't mention any names, but she's tagged there. All right. But no, I met him through a mutual friend, and he cut my hair, and I was just like, because I moved here from California. I had my barbers. Hold up, we're doing a commercial break for a movie that came out in 1984. My son's favorite movie. He just wants to show off his shirt that we got him. Show it off, Jake.
And what's the guy's name?
What's the guy's name that rides that bike? Tell the people. What's his name? What's the guy's name that rides the shirt, that rides a bike?
Crew.
Crew what?
Crew Jones.
Crew Jones. All right. Tell everybody peace, love.
Dad.
No?
I'm going to say that.
Okay. Tell him. You can tell him.
I just got my letter, and it just came out of the mail today.
Awesome. In the mail. Was it from Amazon? No?
Yeah.
FC. From the kids. Don't put you down, okay?
All right.
Did I put on your letter too?
I got this one. I'm showing Joe's. I got to show Joe's today. I'll put mine in a minute. I'll put it on, okay? You made me forget where we're at. What were we talking about? Before I forget, though, shout out to my nephew, Colin Trevor Gomez. Yes, that's his name. Colin, love you, mijo. Happy birthday. Real quick, everybody that's on, that keeps following me every week, I appreciate it. We ain't making no money. We just do this for fun. Shout out to my mom. My mom's on. She gets mad if I don't tell her. And Miss Sarah, the other annex mom. My brother-in-law, Nana. Steve, what's up? Who's that? Oh, Nana said, what's going on? But what were we talking about, dude? I'm telling you, bro.
You moved from California to San Antonio.
Oh, yeah. So I moved from California to San Antonio, and I kind of like was, in Marine Corps, you gotta have a haircut every single. A lot of people don't know that. Like in the Marine Corps, you gotta have a lot of every Monday. You have to have a fresh haircut, and I couldn't understand that here in San Antonio, that Sundays the barbershops are closed.
Yeah.
And where we're from in California, not where we're from, where I lived in California, dude, Sundays is like the busiest day because that's the Marines got to have a fresh haircut for Monday. So I couldn't get that.
Was that on base or off base?
Off base, bro.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, y'all's taxes out there are ridiculous, so I would work on Sundays too.
Shout out to Jerry's Barbershop in San Clemente, California. If you're out there in San Clemente in Orange County, stop by and see my boy Jerry, Cesar, Marta. They'll be on a little bit later. What's up, Drew Barrelou? What's going on, brother? How you doing? Oh, there's Judith in California. But yeah, so I moved here. Joe cut my hair, and everybody was like, "Yo, Cat, what's going on in H-Town?" He cut my hair, and then people were just like everywhere, like, "Yo, where'd you get your cut? Where'd you get your cut? Where'd you get your cut?" And I'm like, "I don't know, dude. This guy named Joe cut my hair." Joe who? I said, Joe. At the time, you were at or you don't have to say it if you don't want to. Your old shop.
Oh, at Cardsmatic.
You were at Cardsmatic.
Yeah.
Right, and he cut my hair, and you know how it is, dudes. You know how when you get a haircut, bam, you get a haircut, it's all fresh. So, it's He's a great dude, period. I watch you getting fans, fool. You know? Who is this guy? Did you pay him? Did you pay them?
No, hi, Cruz.
You paid them, huh?
No,
you cut their hair today,
that's family. That's family right there.
But, babe, it's public, right? On the thing? I forgot to check. Yeah. So, again, he was one of the, to be honest with you, when I talked to my wife one night, we were talking, I said, look, I really don't want to get Wacky Wednesday to people just see me get drunk by myself and play music and take shots with my kids. I wanted to like do something different, man. And I just said, man, you know what would be cool? To interview normal people, bro. Because like you see podcasts and stuff, and it's always you know, like professional people, movie stars. Like, what about the normal everyday people? People that walk around us every day. You know, so I've had different people on. And I've actually like sat and thought about people that I wanted on. And I'll be honest with you, Joe. Every single person that I've asked has been like, let's do it.
Yeah.
Let's do it. So that's cool. You know, I started this like, not just the drunk part when I was getting drunk, right? But for the record, all my people, sipping. I am sipping.
I'm sipping this.
You know, I said, you know, it'd be cool just to interview people, man. See different life things and with the way the world is with coronavirus, with everything going on in the world. We had the panel last week. So I'm looking at doing things like that, just totally different things.
And I support it.
You support it? 100%?
I support it 100%.
I hear you.
Nice,
so Joe, what do you think like right now? What's going on in the world? How do you feel about everything that's going on? What's your take on it?
Oh man, it's crazy. I've never experienced this in my whole life. So I mean, the scariest thing that I grew up with is the piojos. You know, going to swimming somewhere and you're getting bugs. That's the only time that I ever worried about catching something like that. You know, but I mean, there's nothing that ever comes close to what happened to us. Being quarantined at the house, I was going crazy. At first, I thought like, oh man, this is dope. I'm gonna get to be home. I can do stuff that I want to do at the house. But after a week, Charlie, I got tired.
For all my people, Charlie means like, you know, like, that's cool. Yeah. You good.
So yeah, but after that, I mean, I took it serious because I lost a lot of money with my business. You know, being a small business owner, it hurt a lot. It really did. And it scared me because I was like, man, am I going to survive this? Because once the governor was like, oh no, we can't open until further notice. I'm like, well, what's further notice? Like, I got loans to pay. I got bills to pay. I got stuff that I got to take care of. And I've been cutting hair for 15 years now. And this is what I do. Like, there's nothing else that I want to do other than being a basketball coach. But like, there's nothing else that I want to do to be able to provide for my family. And, this is my passion. Like, I don't do it for the money. The money's great, but I don't do it for that. I do it because it's what I love to do. And I've poured myself into this over the years. So to have someone come and say like, hey, you can't do this anymore. I'm like, what the hell? And then I was like, well, I'll cut at my house if I have to. But then it's like, if someone calls and snitches on me, I'm going to get fined and, you know, taken to jail. Like,
snitches get stitches, homie.
So I was like,
snitching on people trying to make a living out here.
And it's hard. It's hard. It really is. So because of that, I was all kind of emotional and just trying to figure stuff out. Okay, where do I go from here? How do I protect myself? How do I prevent myself from going into the deep end mentally? Like, what am I going to do? So I, made some adjustments, but now that we have to wear a mask and when they allowed us to get back to work, it made me happy. And we have to, separate our stations and making sure we're cleaning everything, twice as much as we usually do. But we adjusted to it. But right now, the only thing that sucks is me having to cut with the mask on.
Does it affect your vision?
Well, no, it doesn't affect my vision.
Because the last time I walked out, dog, it was kind of like a little bit. No, not te crees.
But I take my glasses off when I'm cutting, when I have a mask on. But it's having that mask on and I'm breathing the same, CO2. I'm breathing that back in. After a while, I need to take a break. So I have to go outside and breathe. Just
I hate it, dude, because all right here, anybody that's been working with a mask, dude, like right here, you feel like...
And then my cheeks get all swollen.
You know what I mean?
Man. So, yeah. But other than that, I'm just like, I'm hoping that it doesn't get too serious where people get more afraid and... So
explain, like right now, we're still on the kind of barber business. Joe brought up a good point. I think a lot of people, it comes out in the news, but I don't think it's really like implemented like it should as far as like small businesses.
Yeah.
I mean, for you to be without work for so long, it's different. Like when you know you're gonna go back to work, but you didn't even know, bro. Like it could have been 4 or 5 months.
Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. And
now you have to, not only that, you have to change the way you do things now, the way you do your appointments and stuff like that. You got to change that, because if not, you're not abiding by the rules, and they shut you down. So
yeah, a lot of rules changed, but we adapted well, and I mean, everything's getting better. But after all these marches and all the protesting going on, seems like it spiked up a lot of the people that have it. So I'm just like, man, I don't know if they're going to shut us down again. So, I mean, in my mind, I'm preparing for that, like for, putting money away and protecting my...
So let me ask you this. Let me ask you, like, just, I guess being a barber, but do you think that this is going to be part of the normal?
No, I wouldn't say it's part of the norm. I think we're just gonna get through it, and then
But it's not gonna go away, bro. Like,
well, it's not about going away. I think our bodies
just gonna live with it like the flu.
I mean, our body is a special machine that's designed by God, so we're capable of fighting these things off. But not if you're drinking this and eating this all the time. You know what I'm saying?
So those of y'all that are watching from out of state, yes,
I'm just saying
the Flying W. But I don't want to show you what I had for dinner. So if y'all watching, y'all know what this battle is right here. We're not gonna get that's another episode.
It's always bigger in Texas.
Look at that. That's a Texas cup, Cali cup. There you go. You're right. So that's kind of like I really like when I went and got my haircut with and asking those questions and to see the difference now, like the barbershop changed, bro. Like I'm used to going to the barbershop, and we still do it. Like we did it the other day. I don't know about your barbershops, but if you go to his barbershop, you're gonna have a good time, man. You're gonna talk about We're gonna talk from flat Earth, to sports, to who's good, who's not,
and to music.
We talk about everything. You know what I mean? What's going on in the world? That's why the barbershop's a sacred place. They say like what happens in a barbershop stays in a barbershop, right? Nobody takes any things out of there. My aunt brought up a good thing. I don't know if we'll build up an immunity, but I think we'll just eventually have a shot like the flu, and it's just going to become part of life.
But that flu, they still can't even get rid of the flu, so why would they give it a shot?
But I just think it's going to be part of the way we live, dude. I'm not down with the mask, bro. Like, honestly, like when they say the Key, please, I just saw that comment from the corner of my eye, and I'm not even going to pay attention to that because I don't even want to get into that shit right now. If y'all are watching, read Key Bradley's comment. We're not getting into this conversation with this guy, Mr. Chicago Hot Dog. But, I still want to go to the barbershop, dude. I want it to be the old way. I want it to be, be able to talk to people. I don't want to be like, hey, we got to go get you from the car when it's your turn.
Yeah.
Is that the actual rule right now, or as long as you have space for people to sit?
Now they opened it up, so I think we're at 75% capacity. So it's not as tight as it was earlier.
Yeah, what capacity?
75% capacity.
So it was at 25, now it went to 75.
Yeah. So
that's good to know. That's good to know. So many of you know I'm a father of a bunch of children, but I'm not the only one. Joe here, he's got quite a big family as well. You have all boys, all right?
Yeah, 5 boys.
5 boys. What are their ages from what to what?
Damien is 24. John is 23. Jeremy's 19. Jordan just turned 18. He just
bro, why do you gotta call him out? Because that means I have to go through mine.
Yeah,
and
I'm just saying,
bro.
I have to.
Damn.
And then Joby is 14. He turns 15 in July.
So your baby's 15?
My baby's 15, and he's 6'1", 6'2", something like that.
What happened to you?
Hey, God bless my hands, not my height.
So y'all don't know my boy Joe. Not only is he a barber, he's a freaking outstanding basketball player. You played for what school, Lanier?
I played for Lanier for a little bit, but then I got kicked out of Lanier because I was going to stab somebody with a knife. And then...
I thought you wanted to make it out of the freaking projects and you're stabbing people with a knife, bro.
I got jumped by more than like 10 people. What'd you want me to do?
Did you bleach your hair blonde too?
No, I didn't.
That's only if they make the playoffs, right, or something?
Yeah, it's tradition to do it. You know, my homies are the ones that started it, but...
Look that up. If you're not familiar with San Antonio high schools, look up Lanier High School, their basketball team. When it makes the playoffs, no matter color of the skin, all them fools bleach their hair blonde. And I think one time they even had the principal do it. The principal was like, if you guys make it, dude, I saw it on the news. That was pretty cool. But
even the mayor did it.
He bleached his hair blonde?
Yeah.
I don't know if our mayor now would bleach his hair blonde. I doubt it.
Yeah, he did.
Have you seen our mayor?
No.
Just the pato top, see na? Crossfitter, chingon, all big. But oh my God, man, are you serious, bro? You know, my oldest is gonna be 29 this year. 29 years old, dude, and my baby's right here. He's 5, and I got everything in between. And as y'all saw, like, I really wanted this episode to go towards fatherhood. And you know what, dude? I don't know why I thought Father's Day weekend was this weekend. It's not till next weekend. It's cool. We're just a week and a half early.
I haven't worn my shirt to get ready.
What does it say? What does your shirt say? Best dad in the galaxy.
I was prepared for this.
So what does that make me? Second best dad in the what does that make me?
No, we could share the thrones.
Okay, cool.
We could
share it.
I mean, it's black and black today, so we
hey, real quick, shout out to my boy Eric Reyes down there in the 305 Miami area. He's about to retire with like 25 or 26 years in the Marine Corps. Woo! Eric, love you, cabron. Congratulations, bro. Thank you for your service. Welcome to the Blue ID Card Club. You'll get a couple of these. They're coming your way, I promise. But, nah, you know, I put fatherhood and speaking of Marines, like, being in the Marine Corps is like being, like, when you pick up rank, I used to tell it all the time, it's like taking care of a bunch of kids. You're a father. And you get to see them all, like, when we went in the reunion, they're all older and they all have their families. And it's like, man, all these guys are becoming great fathers and stuff. But on fatherhood, bro, like, from the day that you knew you were going to bring somebody into this world, you were going to have the responsibility of raising flesh and blood to become whatever it may be. Right? Can you kind of think back to that time and kind of remember how you felt?
Well, my situation was different. A lot of people don't know that my 2 oldest boys are not my biological kids. I raised them since they were babies, but they were not my biological kids. I fell in love with them, and their maternal father decided not to take care of them. So I knew that feeling of being, abandoned by my dad. So I was like, I'm not going to let them go through what I went through. So I took the responsibility and said, you know what? I'm going to raise y'all, and y'all are going to be my boys. And so I was already raising them, and I didn't have my 3rd son, which is my first, biological son. Jeremy, I didn't have him till I graduated high school.
Until you graduated high school?
Yeah, it was after...
Like, listen to what he just said. So, until he graduated
what happened was he was born May 21st, the year 2000.
Okay.
But we graduated school, like, I think it was like May 15th or 16th, something like that. So then he came in, but yeah, I was already like into raising boys but they were not my boys. So I made them my boys, and even till now they call me dad. Everything, of course, I'm their father now. But I mean, for someone to do that, to abandon a child, for what? Like, why did you? I mean, on my mind, I would never ever do that to my children.
But on the other end, every circumstance is different. But I tell you this though, where I'm from, when we were younger, we used to call those just add water. You became a dad with just adding water. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You were thrown into that,
So,
and you what you said is absolutely right. Like, what are you doing, dude? What's going on?
Nothing.
You just want to hang out or what?
I have
It's guy day. We're
What's
doing
going
guy
on?
stuff.
That's the one that, like, I'm gonna say.
No, hold on. You're going to throw me off what I want to say. Tell the camera what you want to say real quick.
And then you can get down.
What do you want to say? Tell him your dad's number one? No? All right, he's getting shy turn. But what I was saying is, like, you know,
Guys,
being...
have you seen the Killer Clown from Las Vegas? It's like a circus tent or something. It's like a...
What?
Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we got you, Jake.
Yeah.
We got you.
Okay.
I got him on the Killer Clowns from Outer
Ooh.
Space. So, as I was saying, like, you know, you're not the only one, and I think not just in our culture. When I say our culture, you know, Chicano, Latino, Mexicano, whatever you want to call it. I think it happens a lot, dude. We're the fastest growing population in the United States.
Oh, yeah.
And it's almost normal that, you know, in some family, somebody's raising somebody else's kid.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I mean, literally, it's part of, it's almost part of, it's a normal thing. But it takes a certain person, man. It takes a certain man to do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you just told me right now you did it with 2 boys. And to this day, you're still part of their life. Regardless if you brought them into this world or not, you're still being there for them. You're still guiding them. And that says a lot about you as a person. You know what I mean? I hear, and if the shoe fits, wear it. It doesn't bother me none. But, you know, I hate to see, like, when somebody gets with another person, I'll say like a guy gets with a girl, and the girl has 2 kids, right? And then you have a couple of kids with her. Nowhere did you sign up for that. But the minute that you said that you would take the girl and be with her, and you were gonna, like, not a dating thing, because a dating thing that kind of goes into like a different realm of things, because, you know, there's some women that are not gonna let you. They're not going to bring you around their kids until they know for sure that you're going to be around.
What your intentions are.
But even with that said, though, I still see to this day, man. To this day, I can't stand for somebody to say, "Oh, that's my stepdaughter. That's my, what do you call it? Your stepdaughter." If maybe I'll let you slide. You've been with her a year. You've been with her 6 months, right? But if you've been raising her since she was 2 years old and she's 15, like, dude, that's your kid.
Yeah.
Right? You see them day in and day out. And a lot of people need to hear this, really. Like, a lot of people need to hear this. You know, it's not okay. It's not okay to separate or to give your biological children that you have with who you are, you know, more than somebody who's not. You have to be equal. You know what I'm saying? Across the playing board. I mean, did you ever feel that, you know, when you did that, with your 2 boys, did you ever have to show favoritism towards them,
Never.
towards your biological
I
kid?
made sure that all of them got the same amount of love, the same discipline. And matter of fact, when my boys would get in trouble, I would spank all of them. That was when I was raising them. If one messed up, all of them would get hit.
My boy Bradley just told me that this week.
And I would say, when you're not looking after your brother, then you're failing. So that means I'm failing. So that's how I raised them. So if one messed up, it's like, you better catch your brother before I do, because all of y'all are going to get hit. So, I mean, but I always made sure that all my boys together, my goal was to get my kids through high school and hopefully into college or doing something productive with their lives. That's my whole, I was the first one to graduate from my immediate family from high school. And my grandma was at my graduation, and she was just like
balling out.
And yeah, and she even told me on that day, she said, "Me puedo morir contento," you know,
contento, yeah, because I was happy that.
And I was like, "Why you say that?" Grandma was like, "I'm gonna do something with my life. You know, I don't know what it is, but I'm gonna do something." So, but for me, it's like there was no question. You know, my boys, my older boys, they graduated high school. My oldest one, he went to college at Texas A&M in Corpus. So he went there. My second oldest, he didn't get to go to college, but he's doing well for himself right now. And then my son Jeremy, he's at UT in Austin.
So what you're saying overall, what you want for your kids, just to be productive citizens in this country, right?
I want them to be that, but more so, I want them to understand that they have the potential to do whatever they want to do. Like, you can be whatever you want to be, but you have to put in the work.
You know, me and Weechow, dude, we, since the kids were little, and if you guys don't know me, like, if you're barely coming on, like, we have a lot of kids, right? We have 8 kids here, but you know, she had some, I had some, and then we have some together. But we've always had them together. There's no like, hey, that's my stepsister, that's my stepbrother, that's her brother, that's her sister. Period, point blank. Like, the step doesn't even exist. But I wish I would have had, you know, maybe no, don't want the kids on here because they'll probably throw my ass under the bus here real quick. But you know, I've always told my wife, like, all I want for my kids is to be productive citizens, dude. And then if that means, if you're happy being single and working at a restaurant or, you know, fixing streets, if you're going home to where you live, you got your own place, you have your own life, you're doing your own thing, and you're a happy person, I'm happy for you. If you want to be a doctor, great, I'm happy for you. You know what I'm saying? As long as you're not like, Dad, I need $20. You know what I'm saying? But
not even that anymore.
But my mom always told me, dude, you never stop being a parent, bro. You never stop being and that's okay. Like, I'm okay with that. But really, what really gets under my skin, dude, is like, especially men. I don't see it too much on the women's side, maybe because I just don't pay attention enough. But I hate to see guys just say like, "Oh, bro, that's my stepdaughter," or "That's my stepson." You know, like, bro, say like, if it's one of yours, say it like with pride. You know what I'm saying? Especially if you've been in their life more than 5 years, 6 years, you're a father figure to them, whether you think so or not. You know, having a lot of kids. Another thing I always tell people, you know, I think the hardest thing for me to swallow as an older father, as I started getting older and the kids started getting older, and I used to not argue with my wife, but I would just have conversations with her, like, and she would tell me like, hey, dude, all your kids aren't going to be fucking straight A students. Yeah. You know, and that was hard. That's hard for me to accept. Like, bullshit. If this one can do it, that one can do it. Yes, it can. Yeah. But they all have their own individual strengths, and they have their individual weaknesses. Yeah. And as a parent, I think we have to accept that and go with whatever makes them strong. You know what I'm saying? And I'll be the first to tell you, dude. Like, every one of my kids is stronger, and they're different in their own way. You know, and that's really hard for me to accept at first, you know, because I wanted them to be all one way. Yeah. It's not, I mean, what's your take on that? All your kids are different?
Yeah, they're all different. You know, they're all motivated by different things. And I guess that's the one thing that you have to understand is talking to your kids and asking them, like, what your interests are. And for me, I think the conversations that I have with my boys is not what they want to do. I'm like, well, what don't you want to do? Do you want to work outside? Hell no. Do you want to do this? Hell no. Do you want to do, okay. And then I'm like, all right, now you have to create your own map to get where you want to be. It's not going to just be from here to there. You're going to have to, you know, work your way to that point.
To where you want to get to.
And, you know, one of my son, Jeremy, the one that's at UT, the one thing he told me when he was young, he's like, Dad, I don't want to be poor. I don't want to be poor. And I'm like, well, then if you make that decision, son, you're not going to be poor, you know, because he wants to, you know, buy a house for his mom and take care of his mom. And that's not his obligation, but he's making it, you know, like
that's his motivation.
That's his motivation. Yeah, he wants to, you know,
there's nothing wrong with that.
He wants to get his degree, and he wants to make something of himself. And he's very, you know, motivated on his own. He does things without me having to tell him. Unlike my other boys, where I have to.
Oh, dude, we all got him, bro. We all, you know.
Have you ever done a suplex on one of your kids? Because I have to do figure leg lock, some stuff like that every now and then.
You putting me on camera right now. You can't ask me questions like that about a suplex. Put these hands on him, bro.
Yeah, and no,
you know, it's just like you have to accept that, bro. That every one of your kids is going to be different. So those of you guys that have young kids right now that are like the ages of newborn to like 8 years old. You don't have nobody over 8 years old. You think life's hard right now. You think as they get older, the shit gets easier. It doesn't. I promise you it doesn't. It just comes with different, like different situations. You know what I mean? They just become more complicated. You know, when they're young, shit, you just got to make sure they eat and, you know, take a bath. That's it.
And watch what they're watching on TV.
Yeah, watch what they're watching on TV. They're not watching the Killer Clown movie.
Yeah, as they get older, they get influenced by people around them, and that's the battle of letting them understand, like, look, you got to be very mindful of who you're around, because who you hang with is going to be who you turn into. So those are the things that, you know, you have to.
Here, I want to go over some comments, Joe. So
Okay.
I like to do this we'll stop every now and then.
Let's do this.
It says, shit. Well, if I can get my comments to come up. Man, this iPad Pro, dude. Unfortunately, a lot of women see it like that. My boyfriend X says that her daughters are not his. He provided, well, if I can read the damn comment. Shit.
Can we, not that
Babe,
one.
can you read the comment?
She says, unfortunately, not all women see it like that. My boyfriend's ex says it's her daughters. I think she meant her ex says it's her daughters and not his.
Wow.
So it's Sonia, and I think it's her ex. Her ex's girlfriend says that they're not his.
Yeah, it's so, you know, I'm telling you, there's all kinds of different situations, dude.
Yeah.
And like when I talked to you about, you know, we're going to talk about fatherhood.
Your mom said, I would try to get in for my grandkids all the time, and I would get in trouble. But now I see what Bumper and Weecha were trying to do.
Y'all heard that shit? That shit's on live right now. All these viewers, my mom just said a statement. Somebody screenshot that for me and text it to me right now, please.
We're gonna hang that right here.
No, dude, because I get into a lot. I don't get into it with my mom. My mom's my mom. She's gonna be a grandma, but when it comes to like big time things, like, Mom, there's a line you don't cross, and I think she's understanding that. You know, grandmas are going to be grandmas. They have that certain love for their grandkids, and I get that. But speaking on just being a father, dude, with Father Day weekend coming up, like, you know, like I said, every one of your kids is going to be different. And I'm hard on my kids. Like, if y'all know me personally, there's no like, hey, mijo, how was your day? I love you. And when I see dads do that, does it upset me? It upsets me a little bit. I mean, you know, like maybe I could be a little more softer. But at the same time, it's somebody did screenshot it and sent it to me.
Gay Perez has a good comment for you too, if you want to read that.
Hold on, you threw me off.
Okay,
What was I talking? See, dude, my freaking what do you call it is bad, bro. I don't even know what I was talking about.
Our managers are here.
Yeah.
Man.
What was I talking about, manager? Anybody? What was I talking about?
You were talking about your mom, or about how
it's not our fault. It's the screenshot.
The screenshot
threw us off. Sorry.
But being a father, yeah. So you know, every one of my kids is different in a way, or loving on them. Like I'm not a lovey-dovey father. Like I'm not. You know, when they're babies, yeah. And if you ask all my kids right now about Jacob, that's a different story, right? Jacob. I'm an older dad. I haven't been around for all the little things that he does, so I'm all into that. Like he can get away with murder, and I'm cool with it. But my other kids, man, people like my mom, they're not Marines. You can't treat them like I'm not treating them like Marines. I'm just letting them know that in life is not easy.
No. And it's your job to prepare them to leave and not come back.
Have you done that? Have you done that with your kids? Like you give them examples to let them know that it doesn't. What's the word? It doesn't.
Does he give examples about not being soft?
Yeah. No, it's about not being fair.
Yeah, like not being fair. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
So do they tell you examples, or do they give you examples? Is that your question?
No, my question to you is like with your kids, like. Are you strict with them? Are you like soft with them? Are you each one of them? You're kind of different.
Each kid is different, but I'm more like me. I give my kids opportunity. You know, I give them benefit of the doubt. So I'm like, I ask, you know, hey, did you do this? Did you do that? And blah blah blah. And I believe it. But then when I come to find out that it's a lie, like I'm like, hey, did you do your homework? And they're like, yeah, I got it done. And then I get an email from the teacher. Then it gets me upset because I'm more pissed off about the lie than I am about you not doing what you're supposed to be doing. So then I have to go in there, and this is strike two. So verbally, I'm telling them, like, this is my expectation, you know, blah, blah, blah. And then after that, if they still don't comply with that, then I get physical with them and let them know, like, dude, if you mess up out there, people are not going to correct you. People are going to let you, you know, destroy yourself. So I'm here to help prevent that. Now, I can't be there all the time. I'm here now. If you want to know stuff, talk to me here. I'm not always at home because I have a business to run. But when I'm home, I'm like, look, you need something? Let me know right now. You know, and I try to help them. I pay for their phones.
But you're not like, hey, mijo, how was your day?
No, I
and I'm not knocking that, dude.
No, it's not. But I grew up.
If your husband or you do it, I'm not knocking that. Keep doing that.
That's
Keep
great.
doing that.
But me personally, yeah, like when I see my kids, I don't embrace them as much as I should or I feel, because my whole thing is like, look, guys, y'all need to take care of yourself. And the world out there is cruel, and you have to understand that. So there's little things that I talk to them about. Them understanding what the expectations are for me, and then what the expectation from the world is. You know, there's a lot of things that you have to be mentally aware. You know, and I don't want to keep my children like in this little bubble, because once they go out there,
some people do that.
Yeah, and I try to do that with Joby, and he's real sentimental and real like when I backfire at him about stuff, he gets real like, and I'm like, dog, he's taller than me, and I'm looking at him like, why are you crying? Like, you know what I'm saying? But I'm like, look, and then I have to reevaluate, not be so emotional, be logical, and then I go back and explain to him, look, I'm not trying to hurt your feelings, son, but you have to understand, like, this is part of being a man. You have to be responsible for your actions. You said you're gonna do something, you didn't do it, so now you're gonna feel the repercussions. Give me your phone, give me this, give me that, and then he's like, man, this is real now.
So with that being said, you're holding your kids to a standard. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? You letting them know that for every action there's a consequence. Yes, you know what I'm saying? If
good or bad,
inaction, good or bad. Hey, those of y'all that are watching, I'm trying to get as many as we can about fatherhood. Push this out. If you're not sharing it on your page, share it. Start a watch party. I don't know, do something. Just share it. But we're talking about fatherhood. And just having different scenarios with every different kid. I have kids in the military. I have kids in the workforce.
Speaking of kids, one of them once asked you a question. Jalen, does it bother you that none of your kids have kids?
Oh. Hell no.
No, I'm glad my kids don't.
But my kids do have. I have two grandkids. So my daughter's question is it. So a lot of you don't know, like if you've been around me a lot, I have my oldest son. He lives in South Texas. His name's Lawrence. I have two beautiful grandkids that he has brought into this world, and you know those are my grandchildren. You know, and he kind of grew up. He grew up sometimes with us, sometimes not with us. But my daughter asked, like in general, in my household that's been here the whole time, you know. Does it hurt me that my kids are older and don't have kids? Why would that hurt me? I've always told you guys, like, make sure that you guys are doing what you're supposed to do and be where you want in life before you start a family. It makes things easier. You've seen me struggle. You've seen your mother struggle. I've seen your kids seen you struggle in the beginning. And I think every parent that's on here can agree with me. You don't want that for your kids, right? You want your kids to be set up for success. You don't want, and most of us kids, I'm not going to mention no names, Mom, but some kids, they start off with a credit score of like 500, dude. Mm-hmm. They have electric bills, cell phone bills.
Why are you putting your mom there?
No, my mom didn't do that. I'm just using an example. But in our culture, like, yo, bro, I went to go get my first apartment when I'm 20, and they said I had a water bill when I was 13. I'm like, I'm 13. I didn't know how to have a water bill. Right? But it's back in the day, you could just put a name and a social, and that's how it was, you know?
Yeah, sign it con el crayon, mijo.
Oh, yeah.
Sign it.
Voila. But, you know, I always tell my kids that I really just want them to be successful citizens, whatever that may be, you know, whatever comes their way, because each one of them has their own path. Mm-hmm. And hearing you talk about your kids going to college, you know, one didn't go to college, like, everybody has their path, like, regardless. You know, people always ask me, like, what do you think about somebody who didn't join the military? What about it? Like, they're a grown man just like me. They put on their pants just like me. Mm-hmm. Does not make, please, hear this right now. If you have never joined the military, you have never, Jack, you gotta bring it down. If you've never joined the military, like, does not make, I am not a better man than you, by no means necessary. At all. Mm-hmm. All it means is that's what I chose to do for a living, just like you chose what you want to do for a living, right? Mine, and you know, came with a little traveling, right? probably not to the best parts of the world, but came with some travel. You know, it doesn't make me any better. So for my kids, like, people say, did you push them into the military? Hell no. But I know if they don't want to go to school, like, you're not just gonna sit around here and do some bullshit.
Yeah, nah.
Like you have to do something. You know what I'm saying? You have to do something. And if school's not your deal, hey, the military's your deal. It is what it is. You know.
Jalen said, give her example. The day you told her the day you walk around this block with me on your back is the day that you go to Ranger School. She said that's what pushed her to get through the entire course. Yeah,
my daughter, you can hear that in the background. My aunt just came on. I come from a family of educators, bro. My aunts, my uncles, they're teachers. My niece is a teacher. Like, there's a lot of that in thing, and we come from nothing, bro. You know what I'm saying? We're just like anybody else. We just want to do something better for ourselves. Have you ever, like, has your son or any of your kids ever came to you and just came to you with a question where you want to give them the right answer, but you don't want to hurt their feelings? How many of y'all that are watching have ever thought about that? Like, even if you're a mother, not even just fathers, you're a mother, your kids come to you with a question that you know what the right answer is, but you don't want to give them the right answer because you don't want to be that person. Give
me an example of that, because I can say for myself, I've never had that with my boys. Like, not to where I'm gonna hurt their feelings. Like, I give my kids,
you know, like man. What?
So this goes to the boy, Joe. This is your comment. A comment for you. Where did she start?
Yeah, we're trying to read everyone's comments, but we're having
technical difficulties. It doesn't stay on.
Every time we're gonna see it, it disappears.
When you were referring to affection, that you should be she's saying you should be affection. It shows proper affection. Kids need that too, because they become adults and need to show it to others. And then it was a carry-out, and it says enjoy the moment from time to time. A hug goes a long way. We don't need a bunch of hard asses either.
Yeah, and what I mean by that is, like, because I don't see my boys all the time because they have their own apartments and do their own thing. So when I see them, I don't always embrace them with a hug and kiss them on the cheek like I used to. A lot of times it's just like, hey, what's going on? Like, I'm more like, hey, well, what are you doing with your life right now? Like, what's going on? Like, that I'm more interested in that, because I don't talk to them on the phone and do things like that. Like, I don't text my boys. Sometimes I'll check up on them, but I tell them, like, look, dude, the phone works both ways. And if you're too busy to contact me, you're too busy to contact me. I'm gonna take it as, you know what, you're too busy. I know I'm busy. I got a business to run. I got my spouse to take care of, and the things that are at my house. I got my dog. I got all types of stuff going on constantly.
Right.
My buddy told you, he said, not giving them the right answer. That's going against me, Key. He said not giving them the right answers. Well, he's on your side, bro. It can be detrimental to them by not giving them the right answer.
Yeah.
It goes back to the comment that we saw last night. Remember, my mom's inconsistencies is why I can't make decisions for myself today.
Yeah.
That's unexcusable. Is that what that but I'm trying to give a good example, dude. I'll give you one. Okay. I'll give you one that really, and it comes up all the time. Is when my daughter came to me and she's like, right out of high school, she's like, I'm gonna join the Marine Corps.
And you don't want to tell her that she wasn't cut out for it, or?
No, the right answer is the right answer should have been, you can do whatever you want. That's the right answer.
But the answer,
and I've never really answered her. I've never really. Right now is the first time on. Right now is on first time on camera.
Exclusive.
And please don't bash me for what I'm about to say, because my Marine brothers will sit here and pound on you right now. I promise you they will. But when she told me that, I'm like, hey, you know what? Honestly, the Marine Corps is not a place. It's not a place for a woman. And I have friends. I have friends that are Marine females that are hard asses. They're hardcore. But you know what? They work fucking hard. They have to work double what a man has to work to get where they are. Period. Point blank. You can agree with me, and you can disagree with me. It's the truth, right? Especially the Marine Corps. And so, like, I really didn't want that for her. Like, I'm like, man, you're too goddamn smart for that. Like, go to college. So what does this asshole do? She goes to college, and she gets involved with the Army ROTC. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Does the Army ROTC for what? 2 years? 3 years?
4
years.
4 years. Her whole college
She
thing.
got a national scholarship.
She got a scholarship.
Didn't even do Jared.
Not that nice. He sure wasn't that nice.
No, I wasn't that nice, Jalen. I'm not gonna go into that whole thing. But so she goes to college, and when she's in college, she comes and tells me I'm gonna join the Army ROTC. So I'm like, okay, cool. Join the Army ROTC. You be part of the guard. What's up, AJ? How you doing? Running back, University of Kentucky. Thanks for tuning in. So when she was there, she started doing all these things, dude. Mm-hmm. And I'm going to what you were asking me, like, what was the right answer? The right answer would have been, do whatever you want, Mia. Right? Mm-hmm. But I didn't let her, and it ended up working in her half because she went to college, she got a college degree, and now she's the first Latina U.S. Army Ranger in Army history.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So,
shout out.
But I think in a way, that was her way of like, here you go, Dad. Yeah. You don't want me to be a Marine? I'm going to do this.
But what needed to be said was said for her to reach her destination. So indirectly, you still had the influence, by the actions that you've taken in your life to be able to provide for your family, your large family.
And then we have Jesse. Like Jesse.
Oh yeah, Jesse's another one.
He went to St. Mary's, right? And he's like, Dad, I wanna. He comes home at Christmas time. He comes home. He's not here in San Antonio, but they're always at college. You never see them. So when he comes home at Christmas break, he's like, hey, I'm not going back. And I'm like, bullshit. What do you mean you're not going back? You're going to St. Mary's. You got into the school. You're gonna finish. He's like, no, I'm not gonna go to school. And I'm like, well, what are you gonna do? And I already knew in the back of my head what his answer was gonna be like, but I wanted him to tell me. So he comes and he says, Dad, I want to join the Marine Corps. And I'm like, man, dude, I mean, he's a grown man. Like they're all adults. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But if you live in my house, you're still going to do what the hell I say. I don't give a shit if you're 22, 23, 24, 25. If you, at night, when I close the door, how do you feel about that?
Oh, yeah, no. You in my house, it's my rules. That's just what it is.
That's it, right? Yeah. Even if they're 30 years old, right? They can't find themselves. So, Jesse came and I said, you know what? I'm okay with you joining the Marine Corps. Show me your grades. And here we go. We're talking about all kids taking different paths. Dude, he had all badass grades. His grades were all passing. I'm like, what do you? He just it wasn't for him. So all right, whatever, man. So he joined the Marine Corps. Jesse, welcome home to my son. Y'all give me a bunch of hearts. I don't know if he's watching, but he just got back from Japan being on deployment. Less than 24 hours ago. So I'm sure they got a beer in their hand and they're probably jumping off the third deck of the barracks, causing ruckus. But welcome home, mijo. Joe, has there ever, again, going back to your kids, has there ever been something that they came to you where, like, you scratched your head, like you really didn't have, I'll change it up on you, you really didn't have an answer for them at that moment in time?
No, a lot of the communication that's done with my kids, man, it was like, I think a lot of the things they did was for approval from me. They were trying to fulfill some of my dreams because I was raising them with basketball and stuff like that. Because I was a real young-minded father. So my sign of success was graduating high school, trying to pursue getting a, college scholarship.
Playing
with
basketball.
Sports, But, I was so in love with the sport and so in love with what I grew up with, I wanted to pass that to them. Right. And that didn't happen. So, I'll tell you an example of like Jeremy, when he was at Lanier, he went to Lanier to try to revive the West Side. A few of my kids went there that I taught basketball to when they were young and they played on teams together. So they were going to, bring it up. But Jeremy quickly realized that he's not going to get a scholarship at that school. The only scholarship he's going to get is through academics. And he told me that, like, Dad, I'm not playing basketball anymore. And I'm like, what? So it broke my heart. I'm like, dude, you went to that school so you can, he's like, Dad, I'm not going to get a scholarship. I have all these, AP classes, and I just can't do that and do this too. So he says, I know I'll get a scholarship for going, hard in my academics. So then he did, and he got a scholarship to go to UT. It was second kid in school, you know, behind his best friend that he was there with.
And he got a
scholarship to go to.
But academic.
Yeah, academic. He got a lot of grants.
That's
all types
freaking
of stuff,
amazing,
man.
dude.
So he's a very smart kid, and he made that decision on his own when he was a sophomore. And that's when he told me, and I was like, dude, you still got a long way to go. But he knew like that it's not gonna work. My academics is where I want to do.
How do you feel? How do you feel when you hear? There's one that I like to say, Jesse, if you're on, dude, I put you to people. I can bring you on camera, and people can say what's up to you. But how do you feel? Like this is another one of my pet peeves as a parent. I hate the best friendness.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah, I'm not here to be your best friend.
Exactly.
I'm not. I'm here to be your father. And what I've learned and my experiences, I'm going to try and teach you. So that's called wisdom. You don't have to experience it yourself, but you're learning it because I've experienced it firsthand. I've been down that road. I know where that road leads. So I'm going to tell you, you know, that kind of mentality is the way I am with my kids. Mm-hmm. But yeah, nah, man, it's one of those things where it's kind of...
You're not a best friend?
No, I'm not here. I can say that I'll be your best friend, but I like to say this. I'm your biggest fan. And I'm going to be your biggest supporter. The best friend, that's for someone else. That's not my role. My role is to cheer you on to achieve. And every time you steer off, I'm going to push you back in the right. And then the day comes when my kids are like, Dad, I don't need you. Hey, well, you know what, mijo? That's your choice.
But some parents take that too far, and then it makes their kids feel like they can't even talk to their parents.
You brought something up where, like, you brought up sports and stuff. And I got a lot of parents on here from my hometown. I love to go home and see like my nephew play football and stuff, and like see all the parents that mm-hmm. back up their kids. You know, that's awesome. But if you don't have a kid in high school, or you haven't had a kid graduate, you're not gonna appreciate this. I'm being for real with you. I'm being honest with the camera. Like for my kids, me and my brothers. We grew up playing sports. If you know my family from back home in Bevo, we're big sports people. And it's just part of our life. We grew up playing sports. It was never academics, mm-hmm. you know? And there's nothing wrong with being like going after your kid for going on an academic decathlon, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Instead of being in a track team. Yeah. Like, I think that we don't really, it's like we hold the football players up here and, you know, the academic decathlon kind of goes up here. But at the end of the day, how many people are really, you know what I'm saying? These guys
and that's what my son quickly realized, you know, there's only so many scholarships that are going to be handed out, and if you're not 6'6", you know, jumping from the free throw line, it's hard for them to give you that scholarship.
It is, man, and you know, I think that a lot of kids are they I don't know, man. It's hard. Every kid's different. Like you grew up in the projects, right? Mm-hmm. I grew up in a small town. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Albert Macizo in the house, like always. Thank you for tuning in. You know, and we grew up in different worlds, but at the same time, we all have that same goal, mm-hmm. right? And it's just going to be so much harder for you because of where you came from, right? Yeah. And I think the way you growing up hard, you instill that into your children. Me, I grew up in a small town. I have friends to this day that have been my friends since kindergarten. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And my kids, I used to tell them, because they didn't grow up here, you know what I mean? In California, I used to tell them all these stories. And then when my friends started coming around, they're like, yo, this dude's not lying. These guys were nuts. What happened? You're thinking?
Yeah, no, you're good. Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, so going to just being a dad, I'm not a best friend type. And if you are, no, more power to you. I've said it 100 times. My kids are all watching right now. One's in attendance. You know, everybody has, if you hear any smacking, it's my wife. She's eating almonds. So I'll just throw that out there real quick. But I don't know, Joe, like, what do you think about young parents? What do you think about being a young parent?
Man, when I was a young parent, it was tough.
When you say young parent, how old were you?
I mean, well, Damien and John were, what? Damien was like 2, John was like 1. So I was like 17 years old at the time. 17 years old when I was around them and raising them, you know, and we're on the bus, you know, going to school. Like our school had they had a daycare across the school. Our school had
part
a daycare.
Of the school?
Yeah, that was part of the school.
Our school had a daycare in the back of the high school. And people used to be like, well, you're giving these kids an option. And I never really thought about that. I just said you're giving the kids like, hey, they made them, not that they made a mistake, because no kid is a mistake. But, you know, they had a setback, and you're still giving them an option to still make it. In our school, if you were an athlete or something like that, what? Jesse, easy. I'm going to tell my story in a minute, Mio. Don't start that shit. He said, you're like 12. Why did I make that face when you were 17? But, so you brought that up, Jess. I'll give you my story. The story starts with my brother, man. My brother. If y'all know my brother, Henry Gomez, he's a car salesman in Bevo. Those of y'all looking for a brand new car and you're in the South Texas area, hit up my brother, 361-542-0171, Aztec Chevrolet in Bevo, Texas.
What's my
Hit him up. My brother, man, I remember the police coming to my they're knocking on the door, right? And my dad was actually home. He wasn't out playing poker. And he answered the door, and the cops were like, yo, they were looking for this little girl. So me and my brother, we had like I had my room and my brother had his room, but we kind of shared a hallway and there was a bathroom in the middle, right? And I went to my brother's room and said, hey, dude, do you know about this cop out here? Henry, I'm sorry, I don't mean to put your business out like this, but I love you. You're my brother. So the cop's like, hey, they're looking for this girl, right? And I said, dude, do you know anything about this? No, I don't. So my mom and dad like, I don't know what the hell you're talking about. You need to get on out of here. Cop left. So then my brother comes like, hey, the girl's here. I'm like,
oh my goodness.
Right? He was hiding her, dude. We're not mentioning any names.
No names.
You see that mouth?
So
he was lying.
You know, she was there. Right? And, yeah, I love telling stories, bro. So my brother, come to find out that my brother was he had got his girl pregnant. My brother was like 14 years old, dog. No, he was 15 or 14, one of those. And I remember having this conversation with my brother, like looking him right in his eye and telling him, dude, excuse my language, Facebook. I'm like, dude, you fucked up. If y'all know my brother, he was an athlete in everything. Anything he played, he was great in. And same thing, we wanted him to go to college and play sports and stuff. And I remember telling him, like, you fucked up, bro. You're done, son. Your life starts now. You're done. You're going to have to work. You're not going to be able to play sports, blah, 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 blah. Hounding this guy, right? 5 years down the road, I find out that I have a son. Right? Which means I would have been, my son would have been born before his daughter.
You gotta tell the story of how you found out.
Right? So they can't. Well, we're not gonna get into all that. But I had a son, and he's got a huge part of my heart. Lawrence, if you're out there, I love you, son. And he they told me that my brother's like, dude, you remember all that bullshit you told me, and your own self, you had a kid, dude. So somebody put some bumpers like, hold my beer and watch this. But my brother was young, dude. He was young, and you know what? He still made it work, bro. He played all the sports.
So that would make
his daughter now is a teacher. You know what I mean? My brother he's a great human being. He's a freaking lovable, funny person. If y'all don't know him, look up my brother Henry Gomez. Again, if you're looking for a car, hit him up. But dude, that's part of raza, bro. For real. That's like a normal. Like when somebody say, I know a girl, she's 13 and pregnant. Hombre, I got like 3 primas that had kids. They had 3 kids by the time they were 15.
And you know what? And what's crazy, when I was growing up, that was the norm. Like everyone around us, my family, we all had kids at a young age. So, honey, we're not even going to get into that right now. You're not normal. But in my family, a lot of my siblings, my cousins, I have, oh my God, on my dad's side, I got like 100 cousins. So, and then my grandma from my father's side, she had like 8 or 9 kids all together.
Bro, I come from a big family. Like my mom is the only girl out of 10 kids. So just go from there. Yeah. My mom's the only girl out of 10 kids, and every one of them got kids. You know what I mean? Everybody except my Uncle Jude. Rest in peace, Jude. I love you, Mil. So, you know, it's part of our culture, dude. And we become fathers at this young age. Mm-hmm. And it goes back to what I was saying. Like, we don't want the same thing for our children. Yeah. So, Jalen, to answer your question, no, it doesn't bother me that you guys don't have kids right now. You're doing what you want to do. You're experiencing life. And that's what me and Mom has always tried to instill in you. But, hey, when you're ready, you're ready. You know what I'm saying? There's more power to you. We're going to be here with open arms. You know, we've always had.
No, not you, Jackie.
Jackie, don't even look over that shit.
No, she said she's not gonna be here with open arms. Is what she said.
Oh no, you get here with a belt hanging.
Yeah. I don't want kids.
See that. Work with them every day. That was the thing with having 5 boys. I was like, man, imagine if they impregnate, blah blah blah. And
that's the worst feeling ever.
So I had to have those talks with my boys. You know what I'm saying, about what you got to do.
Do you think those talks really happen?
No. It's hard to engage in those conversations about...
To my audience, if you're out there, please, we have 2 managers over here on the side that'll read the comments. Yeah. Comment on here, like...
Do y'all have those talks with your kids?
Guys and girls. Because I got both men and women on here. Like, did your parents give you the speech?
The birds and the bees.
The birds and the bees.
And all that in between. And now it's different because you can have birds and bees and bees. So... It's not just the birds and the bees.
Why you gotta bring up bullshit?
I'm just saying it happens. So that's more. It's more.
Moving on.
No, but I'm saying.
No, we're not. We're good.
When we were growing up, it was birds and the bees. Now it's different. So you have to be a little bit more conscious and more. But I'm not saying.
But think about that though. Think about what you said.
Talking and sharing.
Think about what you just said though. That makes a lot of sense. Like the world we live in, that bees and birds. Like, imagine saying that shit in the 80s to us kids.
That's way too young.
No. Hell no.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What's a good age? My audience out there, like, give me a good age where you would want to sit down your daughter or your son and give them the birds and bees speech.
Well, my cousin just said, and I think it's too young, but my cousin just said that is why the rule is no dating, no boyfriend and girlfriends until you're 15.
I think it depends on your child.
Maturity of your children. That's a good comment. I'm not disagreeing, but I think Monty brings up a good point. Like, it really depends on your. So people are saying high school, 15. Yo, bro, y'all never lived in Beeville. High school and 15, y'all way behind, bro. 15, no shit.
And that's to me when that person said
middle
12.
School, Miss Sarah?
Yeah, because when I was growing up, kids in 6th grade were already.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But 14, dude, my brother had a mustache when he was in 4th grade.
Oh yeah. There was dudes that had.
If y'all knew Henry Gomez, that fool had a mustache 4th grade, dog. Here, they're coming in.
And that's the thing when you sit down and, hey, you know what? I'm gonna let you have a little girlfriend or talk to somebody that's your friend, but you're not, you know.
Jesse, did I give you the talk?
Hell no, you were in Japan.
Jesse, if I gave you any kind of talk, dude, comment on here. I like to remember. Bring my memory back.
The world. Mama had to give him and when they went at the same time.
He said, look, my buddy Bradley said, man, Pam was handing us condoms at 10. She used to say, these girls will trap you and have you stuck not living the life of the dream that you dream of.
I agree. Because you know what? Let me tell you a story of my brother Gizmo, who between my sister and I and my cousin Lisa, we helped mold him and raise him. So he gets up I get up at the grocery store. Jackie and Nito were babies.
Wait, I want to hear this story.
And they're asleep, which is why he stayed in the car. And I get off and I say, hey, you need anything? And he said, no. And so he said, oh, wait, yes, I do. And then he told me, I thought I heard condoms in the back of my head. So I go into the store and I get him a box. I'm like, why am I buying my baby brother condoms? Mm-hmm. And so I gave him the condoms and I'm like, here, you better freaking use them. Because I don't want nobody knocking at my door telling me that you got somebody pregnant. He goes, what the hell is this for? And I said, well, didn't you ask for condoms? He's like, why would I ask you to buy me condoms? I asked for a camera.
Hell no. The little cameras that wind up, the Kodak disposables.
That was me having a talk with him.
I think this is my mom covering shit up, bro. She says,
where's
"Oh,
Mama?
come on, hold on.
Where's Mama Bumper at?
Come on, you damn thing. Where the hell are you?
Yeah,
at?
this thing.
No, it's right
Oh,
here.
babe, Jesse said the most explicit PowerPoint STD.
Oh, yeah, that was my talk of my kids. I
did
showed
that
them the
too.
STD.
Yes.
My mom put.
I said, you could get this and this don't go away.
Yeah.
It's forever.
Yeah,
And
but
so-
your kids sometimes will still do it behind your back
Yeah.
and do whatever the hell they want to do. All we can do is be there for your kid, just like I have. Mom, that's your cop out.
No,
That's
it's
your
true.
cop out. Yeah,
You
no,
can
I
say
agree.
that.
I agree with that.
But the fact is, when the way you approach it, I think
Mike.
it makes a big difference.
Mike
fill it
said,
up with
hey,
ice.
I
Yeah.
use those.
Oh, Mike, please stop.
You know, with my boys,
used
that's
to live
what I
with
had to
us.
do is really like just. I guess I would have to individually like catch them on their own and talk to them by, hey, you know, because I guess when I was younger, I didn't have that talk, so I didn't know. I felt kind of awkward, like. You know, but then I had to talk to my kids like, hey, are you cleaning it right? Are you doing this right? It's true.
They're boys.
They're
You're
boys. They're boys.
You're
And
absolutely
sometimes
right.
they're cochinos. And hey, you
That's what I tell my girls.
you think only girls can get yeast infections? Boys can get yeast infections too. That's
He
people
said,
don't understand
with the way
that.
things are now going, they're going to learn it in
Okay.
school.
But you could say that they're gonna
But they
learn it
are.
in school. They are.
But remember in school though, it was like,
Yeah.
oh my God, look, they're
yeah.
showing that. Like they're not really like paying attention.
But it's the same thing. Like when you have a stern conversation, and not just one, but constantly educating your child on whatever it is, especially when it's having to do with sex and all that. It resonates with them, and it's mentally they're gonna catch on to it and understand. Like, so when it arises, they're gonna remember. Like, oh damn, my dad told me that this was gonna happen.
Check this out, bro. That's strong right there, dude. Pornhub is a new sex ed.
What?
From right field.
I'm just
Huh?
saying, like,
What are you talking about? I never heard of
I'm talking
that.
about the kids.
Well, no, I mean,
Well, that's what's
I know,
happening.
that's
though.
what's happening.
Look, because when we were growing up,
We didn't have
to
this.
go to channel 99 and try
and
to
it
figure
was,
it out.
How many of y'all seen that?
Ooh,
Remember
was that an elbow?
the cable box? You would hit channel 99, and that shit would be like, oh, gray
Yeah.
and snowy.
Yeah.
And then you'd go like this. You're like, oh, I think I just
It's
saw
like
a
a
boob.
movie.
I just saw a boob. Right?
Oh, see, no, you have to go to the picnic corner store and you have to steal the Playboy magazine or whatever Hustler, and that's how it was passed around, and that's how you got educated on what.
But there's no book. That's why I'm having this. I love having this Wacky Wednesday, right? There's no book to being a parent, dude.
No.
There's no chapter that says, hey, open this book and read from 1 to 10 what to tell your kids.
Matt Smith
I'm
said-
sure there is, but if I tell my kids that shit, they're going to be like, Dad, get the hell out of here with that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, that's the world we live in. But you brought up a good point. Every Jesse Cochinos, every kid has a phone in their hand.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
They're
All it takes is for one
exposed.
person is like, hey, check this website out.
Yep.
And boom. You know, that they learn from that.
And then it can become an addiction. And that is the scariest part. When that takes control of them and they can't wait till you leave. Mom and dad are going to leave. And then that's all. Their mind is constantly on that.
8-year-old at school looking up sex.
And that's the thing. 8-year-old kids.
So, again,
man, that's a fact.
I
that
mean,
they're-
8-year-old kids at school getting picked, they're getting stuff taken from them because they have porn. Think about that right now.
Parents think about that, and it's scary.
8 years old. That's 5 in this hand
And some people
3
think
in this
it's like
hand.
not my
8.
child, not my child, until they get called to the school, and then it's like, oh damn,
You know,
what am I doing and what am I not doing?
Okay, so
that's the reality.
So let's paint this picture. You get the phone call. Your son's 11 years old. He got caught with Pornhub, watching Pornhub in the classroom, right? You have to go pick him up. When you get home, what are you going to do? I'm putting you on the spot right now. They called you.
And I took him home.
They called you because Joby got caught with freaking Pornhub. He's 11 years old. He's in what how old are you 11? 5th grade? 6th grade?
You're either 5th or 6th grade.
6th grade?
I was
5th or
saying-
6th grade? Say you're in 6th grade.
Yeah.
What are you gonna do? As soon as you get home.
As soon as I get home, we're gonna sit down in the living room, and I'm gonna ask him, how long has this been going on? Like, when did you start watching this stuff? What got you into this, and why? And I just have to tell him that he's not in trouble. You know, I'm gonna tell him you're not in trouble.
So no ass whipping is going on.
Not immediately, because this is the first time it's happened, and the first time to my knowledge. So anytime if I can't be mad at you for something that I haven't discussed with you. Like if I haven't explained it to you all the way, I can't be mad at you.
I don't know. I don't know if I agree with that.
Well,
I don't know because
okay.
you're saying you didn't give him the what do you call it, right? You didn't explain that to him, but that doesn't give him that you're giving him an excuse. You're giving him a cop out.
But like I said, that becomes an addiction. It becomes that exactly that. You know what I'm saying? Because you get a little taste of it and it becomes an addiction. So what I'm saying is, if I haven't had that talk with my son about this and why it's dangerous, then it's going to be, because then I'm going to tell you what I've learned from that is that when you do that, then you're objectifying women. Now they're just an object.
Yeah.
They don't have any meaning to you anymore. They just, whatever I see, that's what I want to do to whoever. And it becomes that. You become more of a... So you're not appreciating a woman for being the queen that she is. You're appreciating just her as an object. And when that happens, that's what I'm saying. That's the long effect of it. So that's what I would nip it in the bud and tell my kids, like, look, you need to understand that when you find that woman that you love, you're going to have to cherish her all the way, because when your friends turn your back on you, guess who's going to take the bullet?
That's the only person there for
That's the person. And when you're in the hospital, who's going to be by your side? And all those things that I've experienced, I'm going to let my kids know, like, you know, don't turn it into that. And I have a big thing about that when I talk to my clients all the time about how we objectify women, and now it's more acceptable than ever.
But you have all boys.
But that's regardless. My boys, I don't want them to fall in love with someone's outer beauty, because that's gonna go away. And now,
there's a Ramon Ayala song.
But what I'm saying is, there's so many women, and I don't blame them, because society, we don't go and give 1 million followers to some no good looking chick. You know, it has to be someone that has the eyelashes and the lips and the boobs and the butt and everything. So
he's got a point. We got a point there.
You can find a person that has a very high IQ. A woman that has a very high IQ with degrees and everything, she'll probably have about 500 to maybe 1,000 followers. So someone like Kim Kardashian that has no education, no nothing, has over 50 million.
So back to, you're not whipping ass.
No. If we're going to talk about that, I'm going to get into logic, because now I'm not going to be motivated by emotion. I cannot be motivated by emotion right now. Being a father, I have to logically understand what's my son's state of mind. Why is he going there for pleasure? Why is he going, whatever it is? Then I break it down, and then we work on it, and then we'll go take classes and counseling and all those things that we need to do in order to figure out why, you know. And it's like I said, it's not that he's wrong or right, but the fact is that I understand what road that can take you down.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
So you think... Since you have all boys, right? You have all boys, and I have boys and girls.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful girls.
For all my followers and people watching, like, what do y'all think about having a son and having a daughter? Like you brought up all these things with your boys, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But I think sometimes having a daughter, you really look at things differently.
Different, yeah.
One as a dad. Dude, I was 11, 12, 13, 14 years old on the side of the freaking movie theater in Beaver, Texas, doing shit that I shouldn't be doing.
Can you go back and read Key's comment when you're done, or read Key's comment and then?
Okay, let's see what it says.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Because it's gonna lead to where you're going.
Okay, we're gonna send you a care package.
Yeah, he'll be here this weekend. Let's go. No, he said, Jackie, stop. I have all girls, and I tell them, fuck them boys. I tell them all the time, boys only want one thing. And I was one of these boys. Yep. I want to teach them respect themselves first. Have confidence. Because the slick talking boy will try and talk them out their pants.
Oh, yeah.
Not today, homie.
Not today, son.
Look, Key, I couldn't agree with you more. And I think being a dad, like being a mom talking to your daughter is one thing. But a dad taking in what's going on and then talking to your daughter, or not even talking to your daughter, maybe just talking to your wife like, hey, you better tell my daughter this shit, because it's kind of uncomfortable sometimes, bro.
Yeah, I can't relate to you on that, because I don't have daughters,
you know, but
I can...
I know what he's saying. Like, I feel the same way. Like, dudes are going to tell you whatever you want to hear to get what they want. Period, point. I don't care. My daughter's been with him since he was in the 6th grade. I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit if she's been with him since they were in the 4th grade. At the end of the day, hormones kick in, bro.
Yep.
And you know, I think fucking Chris from left field. These girls some of them have their pants already off already. Well, we're not going into that, Chris. We're raising right. We're raising them right here. We're saying right.
That's a different episode.
You know, there's a good one. What does Jesse say there, babe? He says a father something. Let's see.
Wait, Jesse, my son?
Yeah, Jesse Barra.
Oh, Jesse. Oh,
the father must affirm the daughter so that she not seek elsewhere.
When the father
True.
And I'll tell you from experience, a gentleman that I knew that owned a barbecue shop when we had our barber shop inside the mall, he would take his daughter on dates. He would pull the chair out, sit her down, treat her, you know, this is the way a man's supposed to treat you. So when she ran into a bum, she would see it in a heartbeat. So when a father does that and shows that kind of love and respect to her, she knows that that's what she wants. And a lot of times,
I get that. I really do. Like I'm in agreement with that wholeheartedly, because you want your daughters to be treated like queens the way they should be, right? Mm-hmm. But at the same time, they're gonna be their own people. It goes back to following their own people. They're gonna like what they want. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? But if you keep falling for the same kind of guy, right? And the same dudes, and when I mean the same kind of guy, y'all know what I mean. I'm not gonna be politically correct on here's my damn show. Shit. You fall for the same kind of guy, and you keep falling for the same dude over and over, and you're expecting the same. You're expecting new results. This shit ain't gonna happen.
You're talking about a guy that like still is at home?
A fucking loser, bro.
That still is at home?
A fucking loser. You know what I mean?
That lives at home with their mom and...
Well, not only that. No. They can have a job, but you know, I want my kids to be with somebody who's going to push them to their limits.
Not their limits.
Yeah.
Like not in a bad way. Like make them like... make them better, you know, in a relationship wise. So being a father of girls, beautiful girls at that, you know, it's one of these things. Good night, Miss Sarah. Thank you for hanging in there. You know, being a father of girls, like you want your kids, you want your daughters to be around, man. And I get that. Like I read that all the time. Like it's eerie, but a lot of daughters, they end up finding people that are similar to their father.
Yeah,
that's fucking weird, dude. Like I don't want somebody walking to my door that acts like me, bro. I'll slap the shit out of him. You know what I mean? Like,
but the crazy thing is, I'm close to the way Marty's dad is. We share a lot of similarities, and that's crazy.
See, but it's true, right? But like they search, like, I hate my dad. He was so mean. But then you're gonna marry a dude just like that. Mm-hmm. Like how does that work? You know what I mean?
That's what you know. Exactly what Marty just said. That's what you know. You see how they treat your mother. You see how they treat other women. And you think that's how you're supposed to be treated.
My Thea called it insanity. That's called insanity, right?
Yeah.
You keep doing the same thing and expecting different results. Yep. You're right, Thea. I agree with affirmation, and my daughter definitely was her own person, even when we as parents walk the walk. Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's my boy David. He's got kids like me.
It's true. You know, you can do everything you can, but your child is still gonna make their own decisions.
Yo, so. My boy Chris is like, where were these girls when we were young? He says it's the steroids in the food.
Oh, yeah.
No, I just think as you get older, you know what? I'll put a kind of twist into things, kind of make it kind of funny. Like when I get invited to like Hooters or Ojos Locos and shit, I really don't dig those places, bro. Do you?
No.
I know your lady's in attendance.
No, my girl tells me I can go wherever I want. But the fact is, no, I don't mind. Like if the food's good, I'll go to eat, but...
You're not there like for gawking,
no, for
bro.
What?
Because you know what, dude? Like maybe when I was
majority of the dudes
maybe when I was like 21, 22, 23, maybe.
But my thing is, majority of dudes that gawk is because they've never had a woman that's beautiful. And if you've already, so it's you don't have to.
At that power,
you know.
But no, what I mean is like when I go, like me siento like. Bro, why are you staring at that girl like that? I got fucking 3 daughters older than that goddamn girl. You know what I mean? So it makes me feel like
Chester.
The No, it doesn't make me feel Chester, bro. But it's just like being a dad.
Being a father.
Your father's stuff.
Your father instincts kick in, and you're like, damn, man.
They kick in, and you're like, yo.
Would you let your daughter do that?
Yeah, I can't be doing that. You know what I mean?
And a lot of the girls that are there that are doing stuff like that do have daddy issues. You know, from what I've experienced in my life, and
like
what
they
I've
never
known.
had a dad, or
where they just their
dad didn't give a shit.
Yeah, they didn't have that affirmation, and being told that they're beautiful and blah blah blah. So, that's women that I've met that work at places like that, and it's easy money. So,
as my buddy just put something, you got to remember, every waitress is someone's daughter.
It is, they are.
Mm-hmm.
Every waitress is someone's daughter.
If my daughter said, "Can I go work at Hooters?" I'd be like, "Sure."
Yo, no.
Why don't you go ask your dad that question?
Yeah, no.
If your dad says it's okay, then you can go.
Yeah, right.
Somebody
the
did.
Question never got back to him. No, and exactly.
Yeah, my daughter Lena. She look her up. Lena Gomez. She's on Facebook. Look her up. She came and asked her mom if she wouldn't get a job. A job as a waitress, right? So she doesn't tell me what kind of job, right? Her mom has to tell me. So right away, my answer was like, "Yo, fuck that. Yeah, that ain't." I said, hell, F no. You're not working there. You know what I mean? Because I've been there. Like I don't want that to be my daughter. And if your daughter works there and you're watching, bro, please don't take this the wrong way.
No, you're not offending people. You said it's your show, Tom.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, but he's clarifying.
I'm just clarifying. Like,
that's
you know
all
what I mean?
Is.
That's my daughter. I didn't want her to work there. But those are things of like being a father, being a parent. These are things that y'all gonna come across. For all my viewers watching that have young kids, like it's coming, man. I promise you. And the thing that's crazy about it is this world's changing
a lot
quickly,
faster
dude.
than
it's changing quickly. And not only are kids looking older, but I mean, what do you think? Like kids are just, I don't know, dog. They're to me they're more older acting. Sometimes I think we were older acting as younger. Like I think about buying kegs for parties and shit. Like I don't see my kids doing.
No,
I'll take that back.
We did that.
But
for New Year's.
It's let's see what Chris says. Let's read some comments. Let's get some comments.
Every stripper someone's daughter. Okay.
That's a good one right there. If we can get it to come up, god dang it.
What?
To get your daughter's respect, you have to trust her. If you disagree, like 99% of dads can, it's because there's no one perfect for your daughter. That's true.
That is.
There's no one ever gonna be perfect for your daughter.
Hooters is a family restaurant.
Easy, Padilla. Dude, but if I were a girl, the money is where the skin is, unfortunately. But
my 12-year-old is 5'9". Dang.
What?
Who's? Oh yeah, he is. No, he is. He's not lying. Padilla's kid's big as hell. I tell my daughters all the time how smart, athletic, and beautiful they are. That's good, Bradley.
And they need to hear that.
They need to hear that.
My daddy don't tell me nothing.
We already brought that up. That's all good. I don't honestly, like, I don't really lovey-dovey with my girls, and I'm all right with that. Like,
we were raised like Marines. That's why we act the way we act.
You mean you talk back all the time?
No, that means that we're stubborn in the head and we don't let anybody talk shit to us.
Oh yeah,
There's nothing that my parents haven't said to us that we haven't already heard.
At home.
You see
good.
that? That's good. You heard that?
Yeah.
See, something like that warms my heart. Might not warm your heart, but Jackie, come tell the camera real quick. Just say the comment what you said.
I said that we were raised like Marines, and then he said y'all talk back. I said no, that means that we don't let anybody talk shit to us because ain't nothing y'all can say that we didn't already hear at home.
See, that's warming for my heart. For some of you, that might be true. But for me, it almost makes me sniffle a little bit. Yeah, we're doing the right thing.
This is how you know people were raised.
Hold on, here's another comment. Oh. My daughter will be 16 tomorrow, and she's upset that I don't let her dress a certain way because she feels like it's not fair that because of the perverts out there, she can't dress how she wants. My daughter's 5'8" and all legs.
Oh, man.
Julie, you keep doing what you're doing.
Yeah. Protect.
We had one just like that. You protect her at all means possible.
Jalen, and I knew that I did a good job with her because she was in her sophomore year in college, and she said she goes, Mom, I was walking out of the door, and I looked in the mirror and thought to myself, would my mom approve of these shorts? No, probably not. And then, because Jalen was all legs, and she still is. Of course, she's 24 now. She can wear whatever the hell she wants.
But it's based on your daughter. Like, they would let Jalen wear things that they wouldn't let Lena wear, and they let me wear things that they wouldn't let Lena wear or Jalen wear.
Because it's your body.
It's our bodies are all different.
Clothes.
He said pageants is where that. Oh my God. But you know what else, Joe? I mean, what else do you see as being a parent? What is something that maybe we can enlighten somebody who hasn't hit something, you know, hadn't been.
How do you treat your athlete kids?
You know.
Well, the athlete thing is totally different because I even refereed basketball for a full year, and I got to see all type of parents and all. Man, I seen parents get into fights in the stands, and the police had to come to the school. Like, it's so I'm not gonna get into that. That's a whole different thing. But
parents raise their athletes.
I think one thing that I would touch on is teaching your kids. Not so much like survival stuff, but skills. Just like I like to teach my kids about working on my cars,
Life skills.
Life skills. Even when I would teach basketball, I would always use whatever I'm teaching to teach them how that applies to life. You know, because when you play basketball, it's a 5-man team. I don't care how good of a shooter you are. You still got to move the rock around. And basketball is a game that you have to learn how to play together, you know, to get the best out of it, you know, regardless of how good you are. So I would use that, and then I'd be like, okay, now we're going to use that in life. How can we use that and apply it to life?
But you say it right then and there?
Yeah, no. I mean, I would use that to...
But I'm saying in the instructions...
So say we're finished with practice, and then when we would sit down at the end of practice, I would tell them why it's important to be able to trust someone and be able to lift somebody up. And when Bumper's not feeling good, hey, bro, we need you. Step on up. You missed that rebound? Forget it, bro. Let's keep on trucking. We still got more to do. So it's having that mindset of building each other up and not bashing each other. Oh, man, you suck, bro. I don't get off my team. And I've played with people like that. But then when you give somebody that confidence of knowing that you trust them and that even when things are looking bad, you're still gonna, hey, you're still gonna be on my team, bro. We're gonna ride it out.
Baby their kids too
and see now I see a lot of kids that they're not about that. There's like they have that LeBron mentality where I want to play with the best players on my team and that's all I want. You know, it's like nobody wants to stay with one squad and build up. Everybody wants the microwave to success. And not knocking on him like that, but I'm saying that mentality is really rampant right now where kids just want to be number one.
But you are, so you're taking sports and coaching and you're still instilling life skills. Like how that's gonna involve into your life.
Yeah.
I don't think I really ever sat down with my kids and kind of did anything like that. But you know, my kids, like as far as like quitting, like if they start a sport, like say they started their first game, they're like, Dad, this shit's not for me. I don't give a shit. You're gonna you made a commitment and you're gonna freaking play.
He's talking about me.
If you're a member of a team, they're depending on you. You know what I mean? And that's part of life. Like you have to kind of instill that in your kids.
Yeah, and that's one thing that I've had done with my boys too, and that's why I was so like with Jeremy. I was like, what do you mean? Like this is, you know, we did all this for you, and when he made that decision, I just respected it. I said, you know, it's your choice. It's your life. This is what you want to do. We're gonna write it out.
Do you think another one that some people are not very like pushy about it? Religion.
Mm-hmm.
Do you push the word of God onto your kids, or do you kind of let them be their own people when it comes to that?
No, God is a big part of my life. Now, when we talk about religion, I can't say Catholic or Christian or whatever. I've learned myself to educate myself on all religions to see like why God put me here. My relationship with God is I wouldn't be who I am right now had it not been for God. God took me from being homeless to traveling all over the country, traveling outside the country.
All over the world, dog. Don't say the country.
I've done a lot of stuff, you know, and there was a time when I got on my knees when I was homeless and I was living in my car. When I got on my knees and I told God, you know what, God, I ain't got nothing left. I'm going to give myself to you. Do what you please. And from that day on, dude, things started changing. I went to barber college. From barber college, I went and did all these things, you know. And a lot of people counted me out. And because they did that, it gave me that fire. Like, not only am I trying to do what I was doing for my kids, but I was also trying to prove all these other people wrong because people thought like, oh, you're going to be a nobody like your dad or like your whoever. And so by me doing that, I know God is real. And I had to instill that in my boys So I would learn how to read the Bible.
So
and
as
going
a
to
parent,
church.
because we're talking about fatherhood, as a parent, if your son comes to you and says, "Hey, man, you know what, Dad? I appreciate you pushing religious on us, reading the Bible, whatever the case may be, whatever your religion is, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that's not for me." You know, I don't know if that's happened. I don't know if that's been, but what do you think your reaction would be to something like that?
I would.
That's heavy.
Yeah, my thing is, I would allow him to. I would question him about, okay, why do you believe what you believe, and then I'll tell you what I believe and why I believe it, and I'll go down the list of experiences in my life, because my life, I can't tell you what relationship other people have with God. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
but what I've
their
experienced is what I've experienced. That's my life, you know, and that's gonna be a testament to who I am and what God's done. So if I tell you that, you know what, man, I started off being, you know, I was a nobody. I was not making enough money. I was living, you know, day to day, not even check to check. I was living day to day. And then for me to tell you that, yeah, I've grossed over $100,000 in my life. I've, you know, I bought the car of my dreams. I did whatever. Then I'm gonna be able to tell you, like, the only reason I was able to do that was because God allowed it. I got on my knees, and so when me talking to my kids.
But if they tell you, Joe, or they say, Dad, I appreciate that, I get it, but it's not for me.
And if
that's the answer, that's what I want to add. Like, what's going to be your response to that?
The only thing that I'll tell my kids is I would reach out to them and say, look, I'm gonna show you why and who God is, and if you want to hear it, cool, and if not, then that's your choice. But don't think because God doesn't, you know, exist in your mind that He's not real. He is real. You know what I'm saying? So I would do that, but I wouldn't force my kids to do anything. I would tell them that, you know, your journey in life is gonna lead you away from God, but the prodigal son has come back. So,
you know, my thing is, like, me and my wife we're very proud of being Catholic, you know, and I'm not knocking no religion. I'm just speaking on me, right? Bumper show, fucking say what I want. But we're proud of being Catholic, and so I've always told my children, like, when they leave the house, when they become adults, me and my wife have done what we thought and what we instilled in our kids. They made all their sacraments in our religion, but once they leave the house, they're their own people. You know, and I'm okay if they say, Dad, you know what? Thank you for the guidance, but I'm going to do this. I want to become a Muslim, or I'm going to be, you know, to each their own. You know what I mean? It goes back to saying that every kid's going to be different. But with that being said, I think in all the children that we've kind of pushed out the home, the Catholicism has been a very big part of their life, and it's a big base in their life.
The foundation.
And that's, I'm glad for that. Like, I'm happy that we've instilled so much of that in them that they're not willing to leave. Like, that's part of their life, and they're like, hey, that's me, that's who I am. If they want to venture off to be a Christian or do something, I'm okay with that. I'm not knocking anything. I'm just saying, I think that us as parents, we've done a good job of instilling that into them, and that they're continuing to carry that on, and maybe they'll carry that on to their families. You know what I mean? I don't know. I really don't know. I really don't know. Like, if Jackie came to me, it's like, Dad, I don't know, I'm not gonna be a Catholic anymore. I don't know what I would say. You know, honestly, like, I really wouldn't know.
Especially me.
I know I wouldn't be hostile about it, of course. You know, I kind of hear them out,
She's a little more involved
but
than all the rest of them.
But, you know, at the same time, I'm gonna let them be their own people. So those of y'all with young kids, man, these are all like the little life lessons that are coming your way. They're coming your way, man. I mean, I promise, if you have a preteen, 11 or 12-year-old, that's when they're starting to find their way, man. They're starting to find they're 11, 12 years old. What do you think? They're kind of like finding who they're gonna be. You know what I mean? And it's our job just to, if you want to think about it like this, it's like a to me, I consider like bowling.
Yeah.
And you put up the bumpers, right?
Yeah.
You put up the bumpers. All you want them to do is to make sure they get to those pins. However it takes to get to those pins, they're gonna go left, they're gonna go right, they're gonna go left, they're gonna go right. All you have to do is be the bumpers. Hey, that's me, bumper, right?
Yeah.
Right. So you gotta be those bumpers, man, and just hold tight. Don't let it go, no matter how hard the issue is. no matter how hard the problem is, you know, whatever the case may be, right? Hold those bumpers, hold your stand, and keep them going. Because you know what? The ball doesn't stop going side to side. It's still going to keep going down that. It's still going to keep going down that lane, right? It's your job to be those bumpers, right? Literally, be those bumpers and keep them in the lane. Would you agree?
Yes, sir. No, I agree with you.
Can I read this comment to y'all? So Gabe Perez said, my oldest son is going through that now because his mom is dying from cancer. So he's angry with God and says that there is no God because how can God punish someone that is the nicest person in the world? All he tells him is that he's there for him. Can y'all touch on that?
I would, just for that, I have a friend of mine that is a rap artist. His name is Andy Mineo. He made an album about his mom passing away, and he started going into kind of like depression because of that and questioning God. You know, who are we to question God? But Andy was doing that. So I would advise you and strongly encourage you to listen to that album. And he talks about those kind of days when he was at the hospital and his mom was a teacher and she passed away from cancer. But it strengthened his faith because at the end of the tunnel, there was still light and he was drawn to the light. And because of that, it got him closer to God. So hopefully that can help you. But that's one guy that because of being a barber, I was able to cut his hair and go to concerts and stuff.
But you touch somebody's life, bro.
Yeah.
That's what's freaking amazing is like, that goes for anybody, dude. What he just said just like made a light bulb turn on. No matter what you do in life, no matter where you're at in life, no matter where you are, like physically, where you are mentally, somebody can always draw from you. You know what I mean? You can be the light in somebody's life without you even knowing it. Without you even knowing it, right? That guy was sitting in your chair. Was that how
Andy,
it worked?
Yeah.
He was sitting in your chair, spilling his beans or what?
Well, no, he had talked about that on his album. But when I had talked to him, that was a little bit after that, all that had happened. And you could tell, like, just, you get devastated, you know what I'm saying? But him being he's considered like a Christian rapper, but it did question his faith. I mean, you get to that point to where you're like, why did God allow this to happen? Why does he like let the good die and the bad people seem like, you know? But I mean, those kind of things, it is tough, but having those conversations, it's one of those things that it sucks that you have to, because my dad died from cancer, my grandma died from cancer, and it's one of those things to where, yeah, when my grandma died, I was devastated, and I was just like, why? Like, why would you allow that to happen? But you know,
do you think that parenting in general is just to your own children?
No. Parenting is not just to your own children. I mean, you already know me. A lot of people call me Uncle Joe. I cut a lot of kids. I try to encourage kids. I try to reward kids when, you know, they come to my barbershop. You get straight A's. You get a free haircut. And a lot of kids, when they come in, the parents will tell me like, oh, he's been acting up. Yeah, and I gave away, you know, some VIP tickets to whatever, what was that thing? Malaluna. They're like $100 tickets, and I gave 2 tickets away for free because, you know, of course I love your kids, so it's kind of different, but I wanted them to commit to volunteering with me and go and work for it. I mean, I wasn't getting paid. They weren't getting paid, but just for them to experience, like, you think that you have it a little bit tough at your house, come see these kids that don't have shoes,
don't have shit,
and
right?
that are eating, you know, by the kindness of people volunteering and giving to that organization at Inner City where I volunteer.
Joe, you got to tell your kids this. My uncle says that he tells his students every Friday when they break for the weekend, don't do anything to embarrass yourself
and your family or your school. Damn right.
You know what I mean?
I say that to my kids.
That's simple, but that's strong. That's like, I used to tell the Marines the same thing. Like, you know what I mean? When they go on a 4-day weekend or 3-day, hey man, don't do nothing that's going to embarrass yourself. You know what I mean?
I don't know. Matt Smith said he wouldn't take any of your advice wearing that hat. He said that earlier.
Who said that?
But that's a dope hat though.
It is.
It's nice.
No, he's talking about because it's not bent like this.
Yeah,
that's what he's talking about.
I wear my hats like that too,
that's what he's talking about. But you know, I think I find myself parenting all the time. I got some of my coworkers that fall in here, and they're younger. They're like in their young 20s, and I see them as my kids sometimes. Like when I hear them, like, hey, what are you doing? I got one kid, Dave. He's thinking about buying a home, and he's young, bro. And that's awesome. So, Dave, you know how many kids that are your age that they're not even buying a home is not even in the picture. You know, they're looking about where they're going to go Friday night and how much money they're going to spend buying beer or whatever. And you're looking at homes trying to, invest your money. That says something about him, So shout out to Dave from T-Mobile. What's up, Dave? I think parenting just all around, like I mentioned earlier, being a Marine, you're a parent all the time, dude. All the time, man. Like, and you're gonna have, what is that? Where's he at? The dog?
Upstairs in the
Jesus Christ.
Can y'all hear him? I'm sorry.
Yeah, they can hear him, all right.
It's distracting, sorry.
But I think you being a barber, bro, you touch people every single day. And I know that you know that, but I don't know if you really you know it, but you really accept it.
Yeah, I came in knowing that that's what a barber is. A barber is not just like some guy that cuts hair or some celebrity or some Instagram dude.
The reason he said, because he's a celebrity, bro. I'm telling you right now.
But that's not a role that I was willing to accept if it came, at the cost of me being who I am, being genuine. I'm not going to conform to what the world thinks a barber is, have barber tattoos on my neck and like do all these things.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Not that it is, but I'm saying it's becoming the norm now.
I got friends with tattoos on their neck, bro.
So I got a tattoo of a clipper on my forearm. But what I'm saying is there's barbers, if someone tells you what a barber is supposed to look like, you look at a lot of the guys that are working, the platforms for these companies, and they all dress the same, all black, wear a fedora hat, have all tattoos, and it's all image and not so much skill. And even at that, I'm saying like barbers.
So being a father, being a parent is part of the barber business.
It helps tremendously because when when you used to go get your haircut when you're a little kid, and you will hear the conversations the barbers were having.
My boy Tiny in Beeville. Rest in peace, Tiny.
They were all old school people, right? Old heads, And, he might have a cigarette in his mouth while he's cutting your hair back in the day.
I don't know. Johnny, my mom's best friend, one of his best friends, Johnny used to cut our hair. He had some conversations that you can't put on.
Yeah, unfiltered. But now, when I talk to kids, I'm constantly asking them how, before this COVID thing, constantly, hey, how you doing in school? Make sure you're listening to your mom. Make sure you listen to your daddy. I'm always pointing them in the right direction because there's people that'll lead you in the wrong path that have never even been down that path because they're fake. They think that gives them, street cred or whatever the case may be. And I'm like, dude, I've been down that path. I know what it feels like to be a young father. I know what it feels like to be homeless. I know what it feels like to try to win people's approval.
You have what we call life experience.
Yes, plenty of life experience.
And sometimes life experience goes way further than.
And you wonder why you went
education.
Through those, you wonder why you went through those things, and it's simply for the fact that it's my duty to be able to help enrich the rest of the people. And some are gonna catch it, and some aren't. Yep. But it's not my choice who catches it and who doesn't. I'm still gonna toss it out there because I've had kids that I've cut that have gone to middle school, high school, graduated from college, and came back to me and said, you know what, Mr. Joe, because of you, I was able to push myself. And I'm not talking about regular junior colleges. I'm talking about LSU,
look, dog. That
Kentucky.
Gives me chills into my freaking hairs on my arm that somebody as their barber, you know what I mean? It's like I always say, be somebody because there's always somebody that's looking up to you. No matter where you're at in life, somebody's looking up to you for guidance. Somebody's looking up to you for anything, and you could be that light in somebody's eye, whether you think so or not.
And I've given free haircuts to people that they're getting a job interview or they're taking school pictures and they're embarrassed. Their parents can't afford my haircut, whatever. And all it takes is for them to DM me and say, hey, Mr. Joe, I've been going to you for a long time. I don't got money this week. And I've done that for people. I've done that for grown men that, like, hey, Mr. Joe, I'm short this week, but I'm going to do what I can for you. And I'm like, you know what? Let me bless you. Let me bless you, and I got you. And I don't do that. I'm just saying this openly right now because I want it to be an example for the rest of the people out there. Like, when you do that, it goes way further than just monetary value.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So,
look, this is a strong statement. Ebony Reese, God puts you in the right place at the right time to meet the people you need.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't agree with that more.
Yeah, that's true.
I couldn't agree with that more.
That's my sister. Hi, sister.
There's a
That's your sister?
Yes.
there's a buddy of mine. His name is Manuel Sanchez.
And Bumper Sister says, I call you all the time for parenting advice.
Yeah,
She does. My buddy Manny Sanchez, he's from Beeville, Texas, bro. Comes from nothing, and the dude is running. He's like the commanding officer of a huge freaking unit in the Navy. Went through the whole enlisted ranks, officer ranks, but one day I had a long conversation with him, bro, and that was his parenting to me was Manny, if you're listening, I don't tell you face to face, but this is what I took from it. God puts people in your life at different times in your life, and you may not know it. You may not know it at the moment, but you know they put people in your life for a reason. You know what I mean? They kind of guide you left, kind of guide you right. I think that you're a freaking special dude, bro. Not because you're on Wacky Wednesday. I told you before while sitting in your chair, dude, I respect you. Like, and I'm not farewelling to you. People think, oh, here he's coming to the end. No, I'm not. I just want to tell you that I think that many people respect you and looked up to you because, bottom line, at the end of everything, bro. When I see Joe Barber, Joe Barajas, you're going into your little shop and you say, "Bump, check this out. This is what I want to do. This place is for rent." Bro, 4 months later, dog, it chokes me up. Your ass was in that freaking shop doing exactly what you told me you were going to do. To the T. What you wanted, the floors, the way you wanted everything set up. Dude, that right there told me the kind of person you are. Right? At the end of the world, you're a freaking humble person, bro. That makes you genuine. That's why people keep coming back to you over and over and over again, because you're a genuine person. You're not gonna bullshit. You're not gonna bullshit anybody. You know what I mean? You have set your mind to do things and you've done it. I didn't mention this earlier. I said that he does stuff for the community. He's had my daughters work for his basketball league. Volunteer. They volunteer as his basketball league.
1 for 1 year.
That he doesn't even have to do, but he's there every single Saturday. Rain, sun, hot, humid, mosquitoes, freaking crazy parents.
Rain and a bunch of little
You know,
kids.
freaking loud parents, obnoxious parents. He's there, and at the end of the day, he's there, and he's not there for himself. He's not there to say, "Hey, I'm Joe Barajas. I'm Joe the Barber. This is what I do." Never have I ever heard him say that. He does it for the kids. Why? Because he has been one of those children.
I used to be that little kid there.
And that's what sets you apart from a regular man walking the street, bro. You're a humble person, dude. You're a very humble person. And nobody's ever told you that. I'm telling you, man to man, cara a cara. I'm telling you right now, live on Facebook, bro. You're a strong individual, bro, and I respect you in so many ways for just being a humble person, bro.
I always know when he's had I always know when le dio una regañada a Juanito, because he'll come, and not a regañada, right? A lecture, or, you know, because Juanito will come home and I'll be like, "So what y'all talk about today?" And he's like, "Oh, just stuff." And then it'll be, "Well, what y'all talk about today about the shop, about this or about that?" And so I know when it's stuff, when it's like a lecture, like, "Boy, you better get your shit together or else."
I want to say something.
And I appreciate that, and I do. And I'm like, "Oh, good. Probably something you needed to hear."
Yeah.
And then he's like, "Yeah, probably."
So I volunteered with Joe and his little basketball thing for like 3 years, right? 3 years, right? And the best part of it is the kids come back.
Yeah.
And on the first day of the camps, you know, before we put into the teams, "Mr. Joe this, Mr. Joe that, Mr. Joe, you know, I did this in school, Mr. Joe, you know, I'm doing this at school." Like, they all get so excited just to go up and talk to Joe, like, tell them what's going on with their lives. Like, they trust him like he's like the old Joe, like, because that's what he is to everybody. And these little kids, like, they're 3rd grade through 6th grade, and their faces get lit up every time they see Joe, and Joe actually takes the time to listen to each individual kid.
And I have to remember all their names, all their parents, grandmas.
I don't
everybody.
even remember mine.
And it's, but it's something that really makes me happy. I'd rather do that, and you know, just to share more information with you of, you know, you say about being humble. It's like, that's just the way I am and the way God created me. I've been offered a $250,000 contract to be a barber for one individual, and I turned it down because I wasn't for sale. And that's the truth. I have the documents and everything. I'll show you. And it's like, people have, you know, HBO offered me a TV show, whatever, you know, reality show with them, and I turned it down because they wanted me to go to barbershops and tell them how to run their business and that they're not doing this and they're not doing that right and blah, blah, blah. I'm like, dude, that's not why. I'm not here to tear nobody down. I'm here to lift people up. So, you know, and I was on that, you know, reality show with Cedric the Entertainer, but I was on 2 other reality TV shows that we did the whatever thing to the pilot to them, and they just didn't get picked up. So I've been offered numerous amount of things because of my talent, but I've never pursued them for the sake of like, let me be famous. I don't want to be famous. I have over 5 million views on YouTube, so I had a lot of momentum on YouTube. There's plenty of videos.
But
on
that
YouTube.
said, look, go to YouTube. Well, look, the Joe Barber.
The Joe Barber.
THE Joe Barber.
And
look him up. Like I can go to dinner with this fool. I can drop some salt, a whole thing of salt on it. What do you call it? Man, this dude will have a freaking amazing freaking picture before we're even done with our steak. Right there on the table. Can no?
Yeah, no, I
can do salt art.
Anything I've done, you know.
He sure does.
He's a freak. Are we getting time? Are we
yes.
getting
my manager.
Time?
No, we just need to remember he hasn't done it alone.
Yeah, no.
What happened?
I don't know.
You got a time limit?
She's something about the
She
phone.
said you haven't done it alone.
Oh, no.
Oh no, a man's only as good as
the
now
women.
he is.
So
No,
if those of
for
you
sure.
that don't know my boy Joe, his
No, she's my fiance.
your fiance. So his fiance is a elementary school principal.
She's a doctor.
And a doctor.
She has a doctor's degree in education, money. In education, a doctor. She's a doctor. We call her Dr. A.
She's like, yeah, keep
She's
that.
about 4'2", feisty as hell. Maybe 4'2's giving her some.
She's not 42.
She's not a midget.
How tall are you, Marty, on the real? 4'11". She's 4'11". 4'11". And she's been a part of my life. She's been a part of, me and my wife's life. She's a great friend. She's a great person to talk to when it comes to things that we don't know. Us as parents, we don't know shit about college, bro. I didn't go to college. Yeah. My wife didn't go to college. Who do we call? Marty. What the hell do they mean by this shit?
Well,
like, what do they mean?
Instilled to them that you don't have to have money to get an education or to further your education.
Yeah.
You don't have to come from money.
Right. And she found a way, she's a freaking doctor, bro. She's got a doctor's degree. I always tell the story of Marty. We went with her one time. She invented, I think it was before you, Joe.
It's okay.
We went to Houston to her, like she had a homecoming. And UTSA was playing Rice. And the only reason I really wanted to go was because the quarterback from UTSA was from Beeville. Eric Sosa, if you're watching, Eric, what's up, baby? Birds up. Right? They were playing Rice, and I wanted to see him play. So I tagged along. We went to Houston, and she's showing us around Rice University, right?
Yeah, she's very proud of her.
Yeah, very proud of her thing.
Alma mater.
So alumni. So, dude, I'm walking around this campus, bro. I think I said this already before on one of my other episodes. And I'm seeing like a girl sitting under a tree reading a book, guys riding a bike with a backpack, like kids talking, like sitting in an open. Dude, I'm like, yo, how come nobody ever showed me this shit? Like, this college is for real. It's like the movies, like for real. People really do this. They study, they come to study. And I think if somebody would have showed me college, I don't know if I would have been in the Marine Corps.
No.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? I maybe would have pursued a thing. But for all my Dr. A people that are watching from Dr. A's page, right? Thank you for joining in. I do this every Wednesday. I have different people on, but much respect to her. Me and my wife, we always talk about her. She's a big impact in all my kids' life in some way or form. She's helped them and guided them when we didn't have the right answers, or maybe just to hear it from somebody else. Because
part was watching her move.
Yeah, seeing being a parent sometimes, and you'll see this, young parents, you'll see this, like, you'll tell your kids something, You'll tell your kids something. Tell me, do you agree with this? You tell your kids something over and over and over and over again, right? But they don't listen.
And then it takes.
But somebody comes from the outside and tells them the same exact shit that you told them. Yo, did you know what she said? God damn it! I've been telling you the same thing for freaking 2 years. But it takes. Yo, real quick. Oh my goodness! Shout out to my boy DJ Moyo. He's another guy that does a lot for his community. He's a lot like you, humble guy.
Awesome.
Moyo, I love you, bro. Love the Wacky Wednesdays. Keep up the good work. Love and miss you. Miss you guys. Susana, I love you, mija. All the way from Florida. Yeah, dude, you know, I wanted to bring you on, one, because your story is freaking amazing, right? You're an awesome person, as I told you. You're very humble, dude, and I respect you. Honestly, like I told you earlier, like, people like, how do you feel about people who haven't been in the military or whatever? I could give a shit, bro. I respect you, bro. You have no idea, dog. No idea. You're a great person, but I've never, honestly, Joe, to be real, bro, I don't think I've ever heard one negative fucking thing ever come out of your mouth, bro. Honestly.
The only thing is when someone's talking about the Spurs. When someone talks about the Spurs, that's the only time I go into defense mode. But right now we're not dealing with
don't
sports.
Get these people started, bro.
I know.
Because there's
a lot from
sorry
Cali.
Laker fans from Cali. There's freaking Maverick fans on here.
I respect the Maverick fans. I respect Maverick fans.
There's a conversation going on behind the scenes. And
what's that?
Since y'all both have children, they want y'all to touch on how do you feel about young kids and iPads?
Me personally,
I'm guilty, bro.
Well, it depends on what their interests are on the iPad.
I'll go, Chris. Give me a second.
When it comes to computer graphics and learning, it's very educational. I watch a lot of YouTube, learning how to fix cars, learning how to, have little life hacks, fixing things around my house or outside, whatever. But that can take you down a tunnel where you could be burning time. And I've been stressing this to a lot of people is if you don't learn to manage your time, you're never going to learn to manage your money. And if kids don't know how to do that, they say, I'm going to play my PlayStation for, 2 hours. Next thing you know, it's 4 o'clock in the morning and, they're all messed up. Their sleeping patterns all jacked up. When it comes to iPads, I would say, you know what, if you have a certain time where you can, keep an eye on it. Yeah, limit it, man.
And kind of like watch. Dude, I'm guilty as hell. My son's 5 years old and he has an iPad Pro. Not just an iPad, the fool has an iPad Pro with the number. Like he can FaceTime all his siblings. Yeah. He knows how to do it. You can ask the siblings that are on here, he'll FaceTime you whenever. But YouTube is like it's crazy because the way it's set up, like you can do this and then on the side.
It's a rabbit hole and you
just they click on something on the side and the next thing you know.
I've done that.
Hey, welcome to Wacky Wednesday. I just got to ask you to keep it the shit down, right? Cool. Welcome. How y'all doing? My name's Bumper. I'm the host for tonight's show. Just want to let y'all know.
The other co-host.
But no, Chris, I kind of agree with Joe. Like, it's, but you know what, dude? As parents, it's real easy, bro. It's easy. Like, hey, mijo, here, pa que no estás aquí, like, chingando la madre. You know what I mean? You freaking here's an iPad. Go sit down, and they're out of the way. I get that. Like, it's part of it's technology. I mean, my son runs around here with an iPad on a freaking, what do you call those things?
The little
the hoverboard.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? It's like Jimmy Neutron, dude, running around here, bro. It's fast. It's a whole different a different world. But
I would say too, like, to give them options. With my boys, I have a basketball court outside. There's also other things that they can do. They can watch, movies, or we have DVDs. I don't know if people even watch DVDs anymore because we have so much streaming. Things like that. But I give my boys options, or they ride their bikes outside. But not everybody has that, you know what I'm saying, depending on the weather too. But I give them options, but I don't want them on PlayStations all day or iPads all day.
But it's hard, dude. Like,
I know it's hard, but the thing is, like I said, give them options. Like, hey, draw something. Here's some arts and crafts stuff, or do this. Read a book. Whatever their interests are. Like, my kids love basketball, so I'll buy them the history of basketball. You know,
Read it, learn it.
And read it and learn it and tell me what you think. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, it teaches own, you know, and especially if you're a single parent, it's hard, especially if you have multiple kids. Anything to give you that, you know, when you have a little bit of peace and quiet, sometimes the iPad will save the day. But
on the road, it saves the day, bro.
For sure.
Dad, are we there? I just took my son to Dallas. We went and visited one of my brothers, Keith Bradley, and his family, and Angel, Tovar, and my buddy Bruce. We went up there.
Oh, sorry, Monday has a chihuahua.
And one of my buddy Chanos kind of followed. We all followed each other, and we went up to Dallas, dude. And it's easy, bro. Like, if not, he's in the back. Mom, give me your phone. Mom, give me your phone. Mom. So now it's like, here's your iPad. It's got LTE service. Do what you want to do. You know what I mean? We can jam.
Because it's with T-Mobile. You have to throw it out there. LTE. Go ahead.
This is brought to you by T-Mobile. If you do need a T-Mobile plan, come see me. I'm your T-Mobile guy, right? But again, I have Joe. Somebody just hit me up. They just joined kind of late. They want to give a quick rundown who Joe is. Joe is he's a world-renowned barber. Period. Point blank. You walk into a shop, the dude, you think that this dude was like the light heavyweight champion of the world. He's got like these belts hung up all over the place, right? With different barber battles he's won. He's Abe, welcome, son. He's got different whole different awards. This is mainly for Chris because he wanted to catch up on who you were. So if Joe, we haven't plugged your barbershop, bro.
Oh, it's House of Cards Barbershop, and it's spelled Kardz. And that plays off my last name, Barajas, which means a deck of cards. So that's the reason I named my barbershop House of Cards. It's like Casa de Barajas is my house. You're all welcome. I don't, exclude anybody. We welcome all walks of life. Do you take
walk-ins?
I don't take walk-ins. I only do appointments. I mean, I've been doing.
All-star, I thought you don't take walk-ins.
I've been doing this for 15 years. So I have a clientele that I cut the same people basically every two weeks. It's the same people that I cut majority of the time. Now I got my people that come once a month.
But if somebody was new and they wanted you to cut their hair,
they can book online on my Instagram. My Instagram is the Joe Barber. And you could go on there and you can book appointments through there. There's a link. And you can check out all my work. I've done work for the Spurs. I've done work for the New York Rangers. I've been on TV commercials. I've been on ESPN numerous amount of times. I mean, I've been on Good Morning America. I've been on Fox. I've been on all types of things because of my hair art. But I started doing that back in 2005, and then it caught on.
Where's your barbershop located?
My barbershop is off of 410 and 151, right next door to the Alamo Draft House. West Lakes Landing. That's the name of the.
Andy pulled up his link.
Yes.
He pulled up a profile.
Yes, Andy.
Okay.
Andy is a great guy. That's my boy right
there.
No,
our cousin. He looked you up, so he found.
Oh, okay, cool.
Oh, damn! He put a damn article on there.
Yeah, I've been interviewed by people in Argentina, Brazil, Mexico.
So puedes hablar español.
Sí, hablo en español.
A la chinga.
Pero estoy un poco mocho porque soy del barrio. So.
Yo, but Dr. A on the other hand.
Oh yeah, no,
she's very formal.
She educates me on the proper terminology on Spanish, so she is my better half for sure.
There you go.
But yeah, no, barbering. I've been doing barbering for a long time, and that's what my niche was. I did a haircut of Michael Jordan back in 2012, and.
Was that your claim to fame?
Yes.
That was just about to ask you.
That was my claim
What's your claim to fame?
That one was my claim to fame because I was on the front page of Yahoo.com. That whole day, and from there my video got over like 2 million views. It went viral. It was on it came out on BET, came out on ESPN, came out on what's that other show, TMZ, came out on that. So
2012.
That was 2012 when that happened.
But you have been doing those kind of haircuts.
I've been doing
for a long time?
for about 5 to 6 years. I have been doing portraits of athletes.
I think my favorite one, I never told you. My favorite one is the one with the Spurs, like after they won the championship.
Yeah,
the selfie.
Yeah.
Like, if y'all know what I'm talking about, the Spurs after they won the championship, they took this selfie. Right, there's heads all over the place.
13 players.
Look them up. Look up.
Just type in Spurs selfie haircut.
Check it out
on Google, and I'll show you the picture.
It will show you.
I mean, I've done kids haircuts. I did a Matt Bonner haircut on a kid. He got suspended. And then,
that made the news, fool. Red-headed kid.
The little boy got suspended from school, and the mom called the news, and then the news went to investigate. Next thing I know, that little boy is on ESPN talking about why they got mad at him for putting Matt Bonner in the back of his head. So then we end up getting contacted by the Spurs, and the Spurs gave us floor seats to go watch them. We got to meet Matt Bonner.
What did he tell you? What did he tell you,
I didn't
bro?
get to talk. I didn't talk to Matt Bonner that day because I was still cutting hair. Dude, I've gotten tickets to the finals, and I didn't go because I was cutting hair in Los Angeles.
Hold up.
Yeah, seriously. So anyways, but that little boy
Not
got...
everybody just leaves their baby.
Hey, man.
I'll leave everybody behind.
But it goes back to commitment. You made a commitment. It's your obligation.
True.
You stick to it, regardless of what happens. But so that little boy got to meet Matt Bonner, got his shoes, autograph, jersey, everything. I ended up meeting Matt later on when I went to the Spurs game. I was there talking to a couple of the guys, and then I did a Kawhi Leonard haircut a few years back, and so he was complimenting that. He's like, yeah, man, someone had did my face. I remember when someone did my face, and I was like, well, that was me. I did that for that little boy, Patrick. He was like, oh, so it was you, blah, blah. So then he was cool with me. And he's like,
really
all right.
red-headed like that?
Yeah, well, it's more orange, but it's red.
Orange.
Yeah.
It's not orange.
I mean,
it's
carrot.
orange.
Yeah, come on, carrot.
Pinche San Antonio sale de volar. It's orange. It's not orange.
So it's ginger. Sí, it's ginger.
There you go, Ginger.
But he's a dope dude, real talented man. And I've seen Matt Bonner at a Spurs event, the Spurs camp when my kids went. And he was capable of dribbling and spinning 3 basketballs on one finger and doing all crazy.
So he's more than a three-point shooter?
Yeah, he is, man. I mean, people may say that, but I guarantee you, Matt Bonner will kick your ass in a pickup game. I'll put all my money on that dude. But I mean, those are little experiences that I've gotten, to do. I met Tony Parker and his family, like his dad, his brothers, everybody, like.
From cutting hair?
Yeah, from cutting hair, and I like I said, I've met football players, basketball players, rappers. I mean, different. I've flown out of the cities to go, do haircuts.
Got ABC News.
Yeah.
Lifestyle, meet barber, turn spell stuff.
Yes, that's it right there.
There you go, bro. Look at all these links, bro. Y'all, hey, man. Dude, I'm trying to bring like local people, humble, que la chingada, and all these links right here.
Nah, I mean,
you're making me sound the opposite of the people I want to. Joe, you gotta go, bro. You're famous, vato. I'm trying to.
Nah, I have my little run, but I feel like
no, you're not done. What do you?
No,
bro, don't ever say that, bro.
No, it's not that I'm done, but my priority is not that. My priority is to build up my barbershop and build up the people that work with me. And to build up my family. That's more important to me than anything else. Like, I used to be hardcore on Instagram, hardcore on YouTube, like, recording, doing haircuts. I couldn't do that anymore, dude.
Oh, shit.
I couldn't do it. What happened?
It is full. And you're hanging with Bumper.
Wow. This is my road dog right here.
Chris, from right field, baby.
Damn it, Chris.
Hey, Chris. You know that song my Brooks got? I got friends in low places. I got friends high, low, medium. I got them all. But no, man. I really, again, I was telling you, I respect you so much, dude. That you're humble in your craft, dude. Mm-hmm. You're humble in what you do. A lot of people aren't like that, dude. Like, honestly, I know a lot of people that would have what you have, and they'd be like, you know what? Psh, fuck the road dog. I'm big. You can't. Haircut shit, you better pay $100.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, God giveth and God can take away. And there was a day when I woke up, and this I could tell you my experience. There was a day when I was kind of venturing off into that because I had money and blah, blah, blah. And there was a day when I was cutting hair, dude, and I felt like I couldn't do it. Like I lost it. I legit. I felt
like you're missing up the dude.
Like I couldn't execute the cut like I've always done. Like, cutting hair comes like natural to me, like breathing. Like I can cut hair and no big deal. But that day, I felt like I couldn't do it. And I was like, what? So then I knew, like, man, if God takes this gift, what am I left with? What am I going to do? So that's when I knew, like, you know what? I can't mess around with this, dude. So the next day I was back doing what I was doing. And I was like, man, I can still do it. Like, last time I've done a hair portrait, I don't even know when it was. I got one. I'm going to go with the guy, Magic, from Bond by Honor. You know the movie Bond by Honor, Blood In, Blood Out?
Yeah. Magic. The guy says, yeah, that guy,
yeah. So I'm going to go do a meet and greet with him, and I've done a meet and greet with Crucito and Jesse. I've done it with him. Like I've gotten.
Yeah, I
to
seen
meet
that. I see.
with Little Puppet and Big Puppet. I've done a show with them too, like a meet and greet with them. Like I've,
bro, those guys for us.
I know.
They're like,
and I was there, and I was there with.
Bro,
hey.
those are Al Pacinos, dude, for Mexicans.
I've even got to kick it with Miklo, El Mirko Velka.
Yeah, but he goes around a lot. He does a lot of things. I've seen that he.
So, but I've done a meet and greet with him, like right alongside him. So. I mean, I've experienced so many things of just cutting hair, man, and so I'm gonna do that with Magic coming up on the 20th in San Marcos. So I haven't done hair art, and I don't even have it as on my app.
Bro, so are you saying that we can do Wacky Wednesday in the back right here somewhere badass?
I don't know, on all these canas, bro.
Oh, this mofo. So you're saying?
Oh no, what
the
we can
shading
do,
might be off.
What we can do is dye it black, and then I can work with it. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, you know what my kids always give me a hard time, like, Dad, you should dye your hair black. See what happens. See what Mom does. Like come on with all black hair. She freaked the hell out.
Nah, but barbering has been a great. You know, I see it as a vehicle to take me where I need to go. I never look at it as more than that, because like I said, you can lose it. You know. If I ever break my hand or do something, you know what I'm saying? Like,
or get shot.
Yeah. And you know how I felt about that.
Yeah.
So.
Hey, so you know what, dude? You're gonna be the first guest that I asked this question to. Out of all the episodes.
I'm not a Republican.
No, bro.
I'm just kidding.
No, not even political. We haven't even talked politics.
Yeah, we're not gonna go into politics today.
What do you feel about what I'm doing with Wacky Wednesday?
I think it's great. You created a platform for yourself, like many people have done, but you've conformed it to your liking, and it represents you. I think it's great because I respect you so much. Just being who you are. I remember the first time I came to your house. I came in and you came down the stairs, all your tattoos, no shirt. I was like, a la madre, who's this guy? So I was like, man, this dude looks like my primo. So I was like, cool. And you're like, hey, you want a beer? And I was like, no, I don't drink. Hey, you want a beer or what? And I'm like, all right. And then you popped the michelada. And you gave me one. I was like sipping on
this
it.
This shit tastes like shit.
And then I was like, hey, I don't like this. Well, you know what? Let me get dressed. We're going to go to a fucking bar right now. Blah, blah, blah. And I was like, all right. So,
yes, beer goggles.
And then went to beer goggles. So we were
and
there.
you knew the bouncer. He knew you.
Yeah.
Lena would be proud.
One of the barbers knew. Oh, he was, I don't know. He recognized me. Hey, you're Joe Barber, blah, blah. And I was like, hey, what's up, man?
So you think it's a good thing, right?
Oh, yeah. No, definitely. But from that moment on, I was like, this dude's like me. But you were a Marine. You served for your country. And you did all those kind of things. And, you know, a lot of people don't know the stories behind the stories. So I know when I cut your hair, we get to talk about those kind of things, but you know we're gonna keep that as a
barbershop.
Yeah, barbershop talk.
Barbershop talk.
Hey,
but
by the way, my sister said that men gossip more than women, so be careful what you say in the barbershop.
Oh yeah, there's it's different in different barbershops.
There's no river rule there, dude.
Nah, but
come on, bro.
You know, there's sometimes they get through the cracks, dude.
Oh man.
But the bro code and all that other stuff. Sometimes these cats nowadays they don't know.
It's a young cat. You know what I heard at the barbershop?
Yeah. So but
haters, dude, haters.
But a lot of times, you know, when it comes down to those kind of things, we just let it go.
So that's good, dude. You're the only person that I thought about today when I was at work. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna ask him what does he feel about Wacky Wednesday.
I think it's dope.
And last week, dude, we did that panel. Mm-hmm. Bro, I didn't go to sleep till like 1:30 in the morning. I'm not even exaggerating. Like when we ended, we did 3 hours. That show was 3 hours. When I ended it, my phone was going off consistently till like 1:45 in the morning. I woke up and I still had messages where people are like, yo, you should have talked about this. You should have said this. You should have said that. Yo, this shit's live, bro. It's not edited. It's not scripted. We're just doing it right. Like I say, we're shooting from the hip, man.
It's all raw.
It's all raw, man. And, you know, I just do it just to, you know, what else are you going to do on a Wednesday night, bro? I mean, I don't know.
It's entertaining for me, you know, and after a long day, you know, it just,
Hear me talk some little bit of shit. And I don't care if you watch for 15, 20 minutes, turn it off, go take a shower, get you something to eat. Because I'll still be on when you come back after all that shit. You know, my episodes, they keep going. But, Joe, like, you know, this episode, I wanted you here on this one because of the parenting, just because, you know, you've been a father, and sometimes when I sit in the chair, we talk about what our kids are doing, where they're going, and that says a lot about you. You really care.
No, I do care.
That's why a big thing with my pet peeve was like the step kids and saying that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't like that, bro. Like I really don't like that. But my kids, if they're watching, I'm proud of every single one of you. Promise you, from the bottom of my heart, as your dad, I love every single one of you in your own way. And you're all gonna be great people. If you're not already a great person, you're on your way to. Same thing for your boys. You know what I mean? Your boys are going to school. They're working for themselves if they're not going to school.
Yeah,
that's what we want, bro. As parents, that's what we want. You know what I mean? But I always hear my mom in the back of my mind. The thing that I always hear my mom say is like, two things. Vas a ver, cabrón. You remember that one?
Yeah, my mom.
How many of y'all remember that? Vas a ver. When you have your own kids, vas a ver.
You're gonna see.
And you be like, man, bullshit. My kids ain't gonna do none of this shit. They're gonna be. But when shit happens, I put my head down like, damn, mom, you're right, man. You know what I mean? Vas a ver. And the other thing is like, you just want your kids to be good people, bro.
Yeah.
To be overall good people.
Yeah.
What's your take on that? Did your mom tell you that?
Yeah, my mom used to tell me that all the time. She would say, things like I'm gonna be the death of her because I was starting fires. I would burn trash cans and I would burn chairs. I would, infatuated with flames and stuff as a little kid. So she would always say, "You're gonna be the death of me," blah blah. But my mom said a lot of things too. When I get older and I have kids, that I'm gonna see how hard it is, to engage with them and talk to them and show them the right way of doing things, because it is hard. You know what I'm saying? It is hard to do those kind of things. Taking time to explain why, the how, the where, and the when, and it all line up for them to really understand. Because like we said, all our kids are different. They hear things different. Their perspective is different. And some of them think that, I already know, Dad, you don't even know what you're talking about. You're older already. Right. You can't tell me. So
if there was one thing that you could tell, if you have parents on here that have kids, under the age of 13, if there's one thing that you would like really want to stamp the book on, what would that be? Comment, anything, advice?
I think the one thing would be teaching your children what respect is and why it's important in this life. Because a lot of people don't want to give respect, but they want respect. Or they don't respect themselves, so therefore they don't respect other people. And to me, respect is it gets you so much further in life, just in general, to respect yourself and respect others. I will respect everyone until you disrespect me. You know what I'm saying? That's just who I am. And even if you do disrespect me, I'm not going to respond in an emotional way. I'm just going to go, no, like, you know what, man? That's not for me. I'm going to keep on trucking, and I got other things to worry about. That's just one less person that I need to focus on, and I'm not going to give that dude any energy. Because I wasn't like that when I was younger. I was a fighter, dude. Like, I would just want to fight everyone. I don't care how big you were and how, now, even if I was younger, I wouldn't want to fight because there's too many people that know MMA and all that stuff. Back in the day, it was just fists. Now, nombre, they put un chokehold and arm bar and...
Oh, they pull out a gun?
Oh, yeah, no. Well, I carry mine, so... I carry mine all day, every day. But, nah, I mean, I don't... That's not my mentality. Like, I don't want it to... It's easy to take somebody's life, man. But then in the moment of doing that, you can lose yours. And you can affect your family and all those around you that you love.
Strong, bro.
So you have to be strong in your mind. So that's what I'm saying. It all starts with respect. I think if you plant that seed of respect into your children, that'll grow into all the other dignity, having honor, having, don't be... And
that's besides... So we haven't touched on this, and I don't want to let him go without touching on this because he said how he was raised. Respect. RESPECT. Did I spell it right?
Yes, you did.
There's a song like that. Look it up. Respect. Right? Aretha Franklin, right? Aretha Franklin.
R.I.P.
Well, I like that one. UGLY. I like that one too. You ain't got no alibi. You ugly.
To the girls.
But respect is something like you said. What'd you say? It's earned. It's not given. What'd you say, somebody?
No.
What'd you say?
We're gonna take this drink away from
No,
you.
bro. I want to know what you said. I'm not even...
No, I said respect. Some people don't respect themselves, so therefore they don't respect others. You know what I mean? They don't understand what it means to respect yourself. So therefore, how can they give something that they don't understand? You know what I'm saying? So I feel that in all levels, because it's easy for me to kind of judge other people from a distance and say, oh, look at that weasel, or look at that, loser. But I don't know his story. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know how he was raised. I don't know if his mom showed him love. I don't know if his dad showed him love. So I got to look from that perspective, and not that I can fix him, but at least I can say, like, hey, treat him with respect. And then maybe he'll turn around and be like, oh, well, you're not going to talk bad about me because of the way I look. And you know what I'm saying? So it kind of changes the narrative in that aspect. So that's why I'm real big on respect. If I see someone at the gas station, I don't care if you're dressed all the way up or dressed all the way down. I'm going to try and show you as much respect as I can. If you ask me a question, I'm going to reply to you, and I'm going to say yes or no, sir, regardless of your age.
Everybody's yes.
So not only what he's saying, I agree with him, like, totally. Not only do we need God, but the word respect, I think I'm being real, dude. I think a lot of people don't teach that. It's gone.
Because there's no value in it.
There's no value. Like you see these kids, and again, I'm not going to get into the whole race thing, cop thing, anything like that, but you always see these kids disrespecting cops. What happens if you just respected them? You know what I mean? What happens if you just respected your principal? If you just respected that teacher? If you just respected your parent? Or if you just, whatever situation you're in, if you just use respect, you would be amazed. You would be amazed on the outcome of things. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Just by showing somebody a little respect. Mm-hmm. Like you said, not judging them. And I'll be the first to tell you, bro, that's my problem. Mm-hmm. And I'll be right here live on my show. I'll tell you, I look at people and I'm like, yo, pinche vato marihuano.
Yeah.
Marihuano.
Well, I used to be like that until someone told me this. Would you ever want to trade your life for their life? You know what I'm saying? Would you want to do that when you're judging them the way you are? Would you ever want to switch spots and then feel like they feel right now? And would you feel like it's cool for someone to say that? Yeah, to judge you. You know what I mean? And there was a point and I'm pretty sure there's been a point in your life where someone could have been, judging you.
Well, you judged me when I came down the
stairs.
Yeah,
exactly. But not in a bad way, because I was like, oh, this is just like me. I got tattoos too. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, I like I said, I think respect is a big thing. I think it's a key factor for women and men, for kids and boys and girls.
Do you teach your boys any kind of somebody put the word chivalry on there? Chivalry's dead. I think it is like things that I see. One that drives me nuts is going to a gas station and seeing a dude on his phone and a chick pumping gas. Mm-hmm. Like, what the?
Well, sometimes that happens because the woman's like, "Hey, I don't need a man."
Oh, okay.
It's not the guy's fault.
No.
It's not the guy's fault.
I get that. But at the end of the day, be like, no, you know what? I understand what you're trying to do, but I'm doing this.
Yeah.
And it kind of is like, damn if you do, damn if you don't, kind of like, oh, the girl might say.
Yeah.
But no, hell no. No girl is supposed to be pumping gas. Yo, can I get some like hearts or something if you agree with me? If you agree with me, if there's a guy in the car and the chick is pumping gas, give me some hearts or lights right now if you agree with me. That the girl should never pump gas if there's a man in the car. Watch, they're gonna be a bunch. Look, there they go. They're starting to come up. Bam, right there. You know what I'm saying?
Look, you heard her.
Unless the girl's the breadwinner.
Unless the girl has her own money.
That's Lela. She's fucking crazy, bro. She's crazy. Lena's crazy.
But what if you always pump the gas and that day you just finished working an 18-hour shift and you're tired and you're coming back home and your lady's like, you know what I mean?
You're traveling and you're sleeping because it's your turn to sleep. And
you guys are getting away from what I'm trying.
You're driving back from Florida after a 17-hour drive and your lady's like, you know what? You rest, honey. Yeah. I'm going to take care of it. You know why? Because I'm a woman and I can do it.
Right.
Damn.
So there's different circumstances.
You did that?
Different perspective. Oh yeah, no, my lady. She's been with me when I would have to travel from Albuquerque. We were at Albuquerque on vacation, and I had to go cut Andy's hair in Lubbock. And she's like, you know what? I'm gonna drive over there to keep you
Ready to go
100%
when you get
when
there.
you cut hair, and then from that you can drive back. So my partner stands beside me, not in front of me or not behind me.
We're getting people in trouble. Like, my wife's giving me a hard time for not liking that. Yo, babe, do you have the comment that I said? I got to throw this out there before I forget. Yo, my buddy Lynn Hartsfield down in Beeville, he sent, I did a screenshot and sent it to my kids. And this made me like, hell yeah, Wacky Wednesday is the shit. You put it up in the messages. It's somewhere in there. Just put the pictures or whatever. No, dude, like, chivalry, it's true. I think it's dead. Like,
Oh, yeah.
how many of y'all know, like, if you're a man, and if you're a mom, if you're a single mom, doesn't matter. If you're a single mom, instill this in your boys. If you are a man and you're walking down the street,
you stay on the
where
outside.
should the man be?
On the outside, because the woman is not for sale.
Exactly.
You're always between her and the street.
You hear that? Y'all hear that?
And your hand goes on top, not behind. When you're holding hands walking with her, you are on top and her hand is behind.
But I don't like the way my arm feels like that,
size
bro.
that's a rule. Always. Don't let her pull you.
Man.
You're in the
So
lead.
if you see a man and a woman walking and the man is on the inside, the woman is to the outside of the street,
Yeah, that's...
yo, double check them. Like, hey, dude, is this chick for sale or what's
Come
going
on,
on here?
punto.
Right? You might get punched or whatever.
Yeah.
Did you find it, babe, or no?
I'm looking.
So that's, yeah.
He said, oh, look at my boy. He said, I ain't getting none now tonight, pinche bumper.
Way to go.
Hey, it's what I do, Chris. It's what I do.
A dose of Wacky Wednesday.
There you go. Dose of Wacky Wednesday. Wake your ass up. I always say, I don't want equal rights. So a girl said, that's your sister?
No.
Who is this?
Where?
Jessica Perez Campos.
Oh, that's Mari's secretary.
And she's like, and this is why I always say, I don't want equal rights.
Oh, yeah, Jessica.
I'm always on top, Joe.
Oh. Joe, Chris, you can get TMI, bro.
Hey.
TMI. Hey, did you find it?
I'm looking. Did you send it in the group?
It's in the group text. It's a picture of like a thing on there.
But
I gotta
yeah.
read it
Here
word
it
for
is.
word.
So yeah.
Here, let me see. Yo, so here you guys, some of you guys saw that I posted this right on when I did the thing right.
The advertisement.
The advertisement for what we're gonna do for Wednesday, and then my buddy Lynn Hartsfield. I'm gonna read it word for word. Okay. He said, my girl be asking me what we're going to watch when I go over. I said, bitch, we watching Bumper. She didn't come over. Good.
I bet you Lynn's not on right now.
No, he was on there. Jimmy, suénale. Bro, I thought I recorded. I'm not bullshitting you. Where's my phone? I'm using it. God dang it.
Híjole.
I recorded. Don't know, bro. I told my daughter today. How cool it was, bro. I was dropping my daughter off at school. And one of my buddy Jimmy's, he made a tribute song to his Theo, Jesse Serrata, right? He's a huge Tejano king in the Tejano music industry. And he sang a song. He's a Tejano artist. And I told my daughter, I said, man, isn't it crazy that I'm driving, hearing a guy that I grew up with, one of my good friends from my hometown, from my school. We used to hang out at lunch together all the time. And to hear his voice on there, it's just freaking crazy, bro. And he's on here right now. Jimmy, suénale, bro.
Nice.
I'm going to have you on here pretty soon. But, hey, we're coming to, we're getting the look from the managers over here.
Uh-oh.
We're already at 2.5 hours. So I usually try to, the first ones I'd go like 4 hours. But I'm trying to keep it at 3 hours now.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We get people come and go, which is cool. Those of you that are just joining us, Rudy, what's going on, bro? I'm going to go to some of these contacts. Somebody told me I need to make hats and t-shirts. They'll buy them. Well, let me know if you make hats and Yo, real quick, if anybody's listening, if you know anybody that has microphones, anything like that, get with me, man. I'm looking for mics. I'm trying to make this more like, where it sounds more professional. I got a board, thanks to my boy, DJ.
Is he one of your Marines?
Gabe Mojica. What are you saying?
He's the one that.
Oh, no, Willie, he's from Beeville. He lives in Washington State, though. He's a good friend of mine growing up in Beeville.
He's a Seattle.
Yeah, he's from Seattle. He's from Washington.
You said he lives there, but he's from Beeville.
Oh, shit, somebody said shots. Who said shots? Who
of
in the
course,
hell said
Abe.
shots? Abe, I've been shouting all night, bro. Whiskey on the rocks. Not even, it's bourbon. He said saludos. Joe, we're at, let's see. Give me my timer here.
In time.
We're at 2 hours and 35 minutes, and Dr. A is giving you the look, bro.
Yeah.
I saw it already.
Mama Bear gotta go.
Mama Bear gotta go. Guys, thank y'all for hanging out. I didn't give a shout out real quick. I want to give a shout out to my God dang it, I'm having a brain fart right now.
Is that bourbon?
It is. To everybody that's like paid, that's come on every single week, dude. I appreciate you. Again, I never put a thing on here to send me some money. Who knows? I might do that shit later. I don't know. We'll see how big this shit gets, right? But I'm just trying to like.
You're losing viewers.
Nah, it's cool.
They're starting to jump off. He's asking for money.
It's like church when they start passing.
The plate, we go pass the plate one more time.
When they start passing the basket around, like hold up. I'm not passing the basket around. But those, on the real, I'm looking for mics. Hey man, if you want to dedicate a podcasting set, shit, I'll take it. Let me know. I'll send you my information. But I do this for fun. I started eating raw meat. Episode 1, got drunk. And then
Raw meat?
Yeah, bro. You
that.
missed episode 1. Go back and check it out. I was eating some raw meat.
It's in the archives.
Me and my wife came up with the damn name. Hey, it was Wacky Wednesday for this pizza joint she likes. So we called it Wacky Wednesday. And then like I told you, I started wanting to interview people. And it just went from there, dude. It's just gotten better and better and better and better. And I want to make it better. Like I want to go into for those that are watching, I want to go into podcasting. Like I really want to take this to like another level. Mm-hmm. And I'm not trying to get rich off this at all. All I want to do is like bring relevant stuff to normal people, bro. Mm-hmm. I'm not CNN. I'm not Fox. I'm not this famous guy that you got to watch on Twitter. I grew up in Beeville, Texas. Did 20 years in the Marine Corps. I live in San Antonio. I'm a father of a lot of children. I'm a father of 8 kids. I got a beautiful wife with a big booty. Like, things like that. That's just me. I'm a normal dude, bro.
Respect.
RESPECT. But you gotta respect the booty. You gotta respect the booty, dog.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, at this point we need the little
But again, I love the comments that I get afterwards. Like, bro, thank you, because my brother-in-law said it best. He goes, like, dude, when you do these, he feels. I want you to feel like you're just right on the other side of my counter, on the other side of my island, just sitting down with 2 dudes. You're sitting down with Joe the Barber, bro. Famous, world famous Joe Barber. You're sitting down right with them. You're sitting down with Bumper Gomez. Shit, how better can that get? You know what I mean? You're chilling out. So, again, that's why I do it, man. I'm just doing it and I like it. Like, I look forward to it. Like, already when I'm talking to him, I'm already like, oh, shit. I don't got somebody next week. But I'm open to anything. Like, I told anybody, if anybody wants to come on, if anybody wants to be one of my guests, we'll make it happen, dude. It's not for people who are up here. Don't think they could be anybody. Shit, you might think you're up here. I might think you're down here. Fuck, I don't know. But
that's true.
Yeah, true. I'm judging people again, goddamn.
You need to work on that.
I need to work on that shit. But yeah, no, man, I really just enjoy the fact that we get to interact with people. Hey, and please don't get mad and be like, I'm not gonna watch. That son of a bitch never reads none of my damn comments. Yo, it's really hard to, man. It's really hard to read all the comments and like keep him entertained, and we don't have no script. Like, I don't have nothing written down saying, Joe, we're gonna talk about this, and this. We're just talking. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and sometimes the iPad doesn't comply with this. So,
bro, are you talking Apple Android bullshit right now for real?
No, I have an Apple too, just like yours. What are you saying?
I know you're trying to throw an elbow at Apple.
No,
I know
it's
you.
right here. There's your comments.
It's right here.
I
And
know
then we go like this, but sometimes they disappear.
But if it was an Android, it wouldn't disappear. Is that what you're saying?
Sabes, a huevo.
Fucking son of a gun.
Okay.
Or is this on T-Mobile? Is that part of it?
But
if it was on Verizon, that wouldn't happen.
Oh shit! Here we go.
Nice.
But Joe, like I do, again, I told you earlier in the thing, dude. Thank you for coming on. Mm-hmm. Thank you for being a part of Wacky Wednesday.
Like
I didn't make you. There
Wacky
you go,
Wednesday?
dog. I can't do it because my hands fucked.
Oh my goodness.
I'll just go like this, double. But yo, if you guys
Like it's Wacky
if you
Wednesday.
guys have
I-
any ideas, like if you have anything that you want to talk about or bring up, or you want an episode about, dude, message me. You message me on Facebook. If you have my personal number, send me a text message. You know, we'll get it going. I got some people that are coming up.
Joe, you got any final words for the viewers?
Yo, you trying to kick them out? I'm trying to tell them bye.
I'm just trying to go.
Nah, just if they want to follow me on
Show it,
Instagram, if they
There
want to
you
follow
go,
me
that's
on
what I was gonna
Instagram, it's the Joe Barber. You know, that also works for Facebook and YouTube. And like I said, there's a lot of my work on YouTube. I mean, back in the day, before it was really common, I was doing a lot of that editing and doing haircuts and stuff like that. But it's just it's a job in itself, like editing videos and doing all this stuff. It's just, I couldn't do it. I couldn't keep up with the demand. And then people started seeing me for what I was on YouTube, and they expected a certain person when they met me in person. So when I would travel to like Miami, LA, Albuquerque, wherever, they saw me as this whatever. Like I'm like, dude, I'm just a regular ass dude. Like I cut hair. Like I always saw myself that way. You know, I may cut above average or whatever, but I cut hair, bro. Like, you know, I'm an artist. I can do any medium. Whatever you see, I can probably do it because I can just, in my mind, I can put things together. Whether it's putting a face on grass with dirt on wherever, it doesn't matter.
The managers are not doing a good job with this editing. They need to watch their damn typing. Joe Barber.
What is going on over
I
here?
don't know.
It's at the
Joe
Barber,
man.
not Barbed.
Don't follow those.
Yes,
Don't follow
guys.
those. Don't follow those. Don't
Typos.
follow
Those are all
those.
typos.
Mari, you could have
That
put
was
it in
me,
there the
I'm
right
sorry.
one.
Yeah. We're gonna take that out of your paycheck, man.
But again, hey, thank you guys. Thank you guys for tuning in to episode 8. I love every single one of you.
Lena said shout out to her. Just kidding, shout out to her.
Remember what I said, man. No matter where you're at in life, somebody's always looking up to you. And always do the right things.
Dad, I look up to you.
There you
Be
go.
that
Thank
person
you.
you needed when you were a kid.
Exactly.
Be that person. That's
good.
the motto.
I almost fell over a hoverboard.
What are you doing?
But let me tell y'all.
We're saying bye, Lena.
Oh, yeah.
I'm gonna tell them bye. This is my dad. Taught me everything I know. Plus my mother. They both told me everything I know. And also shout out to Barber Joe and Mari Alacron. Oui. They also, my senior year, I did my community service with them, inner city basketball, and they actually taught me a lot through that. So,
And what did you get in return?
a lot.
Free
You got
white
tickets
Claws.
to where?
Free,
Mala
free
Luna.
ticket- free tickets to Mala Luna. But not even that. It's more so that it's an experience.
No, definitely.
Because where I'm from,
That's not
I've
Jackie,
experienced
babe.
it when I was younger, and then when I lived with my dad, I experienced something a little bit better than what I had. So when I came back to Madi and Joe and what they taught me and what they showed me, I very much appreciated that. So if they're still continuing that this summer, I highly suggest your children to do inner city community service, even their basketball teams. Have your kids join it, everything. That's it.
Thank you, Lena.
Thank you,
That was
Thank
very
you,
nice.
Lena from left field.
Why
Lena from left field.
are your kids always coming in from left field?
I know, bro. Left field, right field. But Joe, real quick, yeah, dude, thank you for coming on, bro. Thank you for being a great human being, for a humble man, and keep doing what you're doing, bro. Make sure you tune in on Wacky Wednesdays.
I always do.
I always do, even if it's for a few minutes, man. It's
Nick and Netflix and chill. No, Wacky Wednesday and chill.
Wacky Wednesday and chill, man. So to all my peeps, man, arriba, abajo, pa'l centro y pa' dentro. I love all of y'all. Again, if y'all have any connections with microphones or any kind of podcast equipment,
And if anybody
hit me up. If y'all want to donate to the podcast equipment,
Okay.
let me know.
I
If you
don't
know
know.
somebody, hey,
Whoa,
hook it up.
This is not that.
Yeah, what's happening?
No. So if anybody knows a barber that is looking for a job, we have a lot of clientele that calls on the phone. You can Google our shop to get more information. It's House of Cards Barbershop. But I'm looking for 2 individuals that are looking to rent a space with me. I have about 14 stations. So out of those 14 stations, we have 2 of them that are available. That I really need people that want to build with us, that want to be part of the family, be part of the team, and grow with us. So I need 2 licensed barbers or a cosmetologist. I have a Cosmo salon in the back of my barbershop where 2 women can cut hair. One of them is my sister.
But what? Oh, hold up, dog. Why does it got to be a woman? Why can't it be a man, be a guy like salon stuff?
Because she's just having to be a woman.
But I just want a woman stylist. I've given opportunity to a lot of people.
Hey, when you run your own shop, you can do your own shit.
Yeah, no, and I don't care.
You do your own shit.
You can, but there's still limitations. But anyway, if y'all know somebody that needs an opportunity, I don't care if you're young, or older. If you need opportunity and you just need somewhere to go where you're gonna grow, we're not gonna push you towards living that crazy lifestyle, no alcohol and all that crazy nonsense. We're gonna try to steer you in the right direction and get your finances right, get your credit right, and implement some value, in your life. If you're not having, success wherever you're at right now, if you feel like, there's drugs going on, blah, 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 in the barbershop that you're at, and you just need somewhere where there's fresh air and there's nobody judging you and no one, trying to steer you in the wrong direction, our shop is somewhere where you can come be yourself, and we'll help you build you up to be a better person and hopefully build you up to make your own shop down the road. But
so if you guys know anybody in the San Antonio area, dude, let them know, man. I'm telling you, if you work around Joe, you're gonna get clientele. Before he goes, I just want to give a shout out to my tia Malicha and my prima Rachel this weekend. They hosted me for a little while in Fort Worth. Tia, it was great being around you. I love you with all my heart, and thank you for being you and always being so genuine. And then lastly, to my buddy Jay Elliott, who's watching in Okinawa, Japan. He hasn't missed an episode, bro. So you got to remember, over there, it's like during working hours.
He said he had like a whole section or something.
He has everybody watching like at his work. He put him on the put us on a big screen. Claire didn't check in this week. I don't know what's going on with her, but she usually checks in from Australia. But to all my normal people, thank y'all for tuning in. I love every single one of y'all. And until next Wednesday, Sunday, I'll give you a heads up who's going to be the next guest on Wacky Wednesday. I love every single one of you. Hope to see y'all soon. Who knows? I might go live on Saturday. Shit, I did last Saturday, just shits and giggles. But my boy Joe, I love you, man. Thanks for coming on, bro.
Yes, sir. Much love. Thank you, everyone, for the comments, and I'm pretty sure we'll be able to run through them. If y'all have any questions, if anybody needs any information from me, I'm always willing to extend myself to give you whatever you're asking for. As far as haircuts, don't take it too far. We're talking haircuts.
Yo, and a good haircut ain't cheap, to let you know.
And a cheap haircut ain't good.
There you go. Peace out, love. Right, Wacky Wednesday, episode 8. We're out.